Hey everyone. I have a slight confession slash it's not necessarily bad news, I guess. Um the vibes are off today. I I I do not feel well. I don't know what is up. I don't know if I didn't sleep well or if I'm like stressed out or if it's game jam or if it's work or if it's the heat, but realistically, it's probably some combination of all of those things, but I feel like just like a little trash panda. I don't know why. It's gonna be okay. We're gonna make some games. That's why the music is not. I can't do the intense music today. We're getting like, if normal Sky Gray is like level 8 excitement levels, I think today's Sky Gray is gonna be like a 2. Might just be a little bit of game dev, but that's alright. Nothing wrong with that. I got the Animal Crossing music on. It was the only thing that I could use to focus at work today. I didn't even get all my work done either, which sucks. I kind of knew this was going to happen. I went like way too hard a couple weeks ago, or like 2 weeks ago at work, and I worked like 9 hours a couple days in a row or something, like straight. I shouldn't do that. I should know better, but I tend to lock in when I'm coding sometimes. I don't know. I forget to like eat or sleep or whatever. I actually got 2 meals in today, which is good. That's progress. It's up 1 millimeter in the wrong angle. That's it. I definitely didn't. I don't know how I did sleep, but it was not well. I feel like it's one of those unfortunate times where I went to sleep and I woke up feeling worse than when I went to bed. Like my head hurt all day. I tried to like wake up and have a coffee, and that didn't help. I think I just need to take time off from work and everything. I got a 4-day weekend this week. Although it's only really a 3-day weekend because the Tuesday is my admin day. I have to go to the city hall and go to my old apartment for something. And a bunch of stuff. Take my energy. Thank you. Thank you. My mood is at least a lot better than it was. I went to the store. I walked outside. Got some sun on my skin. That's always good. How about some cookies? Because I wasn't feeling well. Self-care is important, so I have some Oreos that I'm going to be snacking on while I'm coding today. And we got the good vibes, we got the good chilling music, so it'll be okay. Sometimes you just have days where you're not productive at work and you're really sleepy. Maybe I'm a little burned out. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's a stacking up of a couple different things. So we'll see how much we can get done. If I need to, I'll just switch to playing games today. I really wish today would be like the best Mario Kart day ever. Also, Booyah, if you ever show up, I'm sorry I didn't go to the game developer thing tonight. I was too tired. I even tried to take a nap, and I was like too sleepy to take a nap, which I don't understand how that's even possible. That shit don't make none sense. I think it didn't help either. I went for a run on Monday night in like the heat. Even though it was nighttime, the wet bulb temperature was like 30 degrees or something, which is like fine for me because I'm still relativistically young. And so like heat stress isn't that bad for me to do. It's actually probably good for me in the grand scheme of things, but I think it just fucking wrecked me. Holy. Also, hi Cobalt. I'm glad you found your model again. Cobalt, you ever want to make more emotes for the channel? I'll pay you. If you're ever looking for commissions, hit me up. You make the best emotes. I kind of want to redo a lot of our emotes and do like animated emotes and stuff. I feel like my emote game is not the best on Twitch, unfortunately, but we're learning. We're making progress. I got the first preview of the YouTube video. I'm working with an editor for this one. That's neat. I think probably in the future I'm just gonna do all the editing. Not that I don't think this guy's good. That he's very good, but I wish maybe I need to like work on the timing because I wish the video was already out, but it's not at the moment. That's okay. Everything's gonna be fine. Gonna write some code. Hopefully. I couldn't get much coding done at work today either, so we'll see how this goes, but hopefully it goes better. Hopefully it goes okay. Yeah, everything's gonna work out, so everything's gonna be alright. Okay. What were we doing last time we visited our heroes? I had like a really bad headache today too, man. I don't know. It's gonna be okay. Oh, we're doing the enemy bases today. Right. Right. I think I want them to take up more than 1 square. I want them to be like a big thing that takes up 4 squares. I think that'd be cool. I think for now, though, we're just going to make it 1 square because that's simpler. We can upgrade it later. We need to figure out how we want to spawn these things, but for the base of the gameplay loop, base of the gameplay loop, we probably don't need that. See, I think you forgot something called a list of SFX you need or something. No. I have one. Farm placement. This might just be generic building placement noise. We would need like a spearman attack noise. And if you want to work on these things, go for it. This might also be just me tasking you to go find, like if you know sound libraries or something, you just want to pull something, that's totally fine too. So we need like the spearman attack noise, we need archer attack noise. If we want to get super technical, let me think about everything and then we can slice the list down for what's actually feasible. I think in a normal game you would have like a knight, or sorry, like a spearman produced noise. Like in Age of Empires it does like the wha. Have something like the wha. Maybe like void creature attack noise. Maybe something we can pitch shift for the different like enemy types, but I'm gonna use the void penguins again, I think, because I like them from the last game. That'd be boring. I like doing stuff myself. Hey, fair enough, fair enough. You're very talented at it, so. UI SFX. Oh, like for placing a building, like when you have the building thing selected. I could see that. I don't know if that's necessarily like a higher priority than a lot of this other stuff. SFX all kind of falls into the sauce category though. So maybe. It's gonna be a lot of yawning today. I apologize. Clicks of buttons and menus. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Me when I make a villager. Shh. Nah, you get it. You get it, Fun Zone. Wololo. And then you got the shwa. When you make an SCV, you get the SCV ready. Something for failed place would be nice. Yeah, so like farm placement, yes. So farm placement or building placement. A generic building placement noise, and then you can have a failed placement noise. You probably want to have like spearman. Would you want to have like a movement noise? No, I don't think you have that, but you have like a death noise probably. And then maybe this could just be a generic unit death noise actually. Player unit death noise, maybe archer attack noise. You could have like a void creature attack noise, void creature death noise would probably be in there. Doing like the UI SFX, you could have like a item selected, maybe like a or like a something like that, or maybe just a something like that. That's more like an item pickup noise. You know, you're playing Stardew Valley and you run across something, it's like that. I'm almost convinced that's how that sound effects was made. I think they just like came into me when I was doing that. The Stardew pickup is so good. You're just walking around like, it's so good. It's so good. It's pretty accurate Minecraft pickup noise. Oh, it is like this. No, Minecraft's not as much as like. Minecraft's more of just a. You don't get like multiple with Minecraft. You just get the one. Pop? Yeah, you get it. I don't know if this is a stream safe story, but my parents recently... Sure, why not? I visited my nephew. Well, I didn't, not specifically my nephew. I visited my whole family, and included in the group of all members of my extended family is my nephew. And I love this kid. He's the best. And we're like hanging out, so like my sister's talking to my parents, I'm hanging out with my nephew. And I'm like, what do you want to do, little man? Like, what do you want to do, buddy? And he's like, we're going to take this box of buttons. We're going to sort them all by color. And I was like, brother, you are speaking my language. That's the greatest thing anyone's ever said. Normal kids are like, oh, let's go like, I don't know, what's like an unfun kid activity? Let's play pretend or something, and you just kind of like got to let it ride. But sort buttons by color all day, every day. So I'm hanging out with this kid sorting buttons by color, and it takes like 45 minutes. You see some Radix sort? All right, bad cop. Slow your roll. We sort all the buttons by color, and at the end, I'm like, wow, we sorted all my mom's or I guess your grandma's buttons by color. She's gonna be so happy next time she needs to go get a button. They'll all be sorted by color. I'm like, oh, she's just so happy, right? He takes the thing of buttons. So they're all sorted. Everything is it's in its compartment. We have green buttons, blue buttons, red buttons, orange buttons, all sorted, perfectly sorted. Takes it up 45 minutes. Takes the thing of buttons, flips it upside down, dumps them all onto the floor, looks at me and goes, okay, now we're gonna do it by size. My man's in it for the love of the game. For the love of the game. Greatest sentence any child has ever said to me. So I'm like, yeah, all right, full send, we'll do it by size. And like, so I just hung out with him and sorted things by size. Anyways, I was talking to my mom later, and I was like, I'm not trying to like accuse anyone or anything, right? Like this, I'm just like, man, he and I kind of think alike. And I was like, do you know if like, I don't know if this is like on the spectrum energy, but like, do you know if they're gonna like ever get him tested or anything? My mom's like, well, he has like some tendencies, but like we don't know or whatever, right? It's like, oh, you know, maybe if it comes up, he seems like socially adjusted, so if it is, it's like high functioning or whatever, so not really worried about it or whatever. And his teachers aren't worried about it, so it's everyone's chill. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's interesting. I turned to my mom, I'm like, did you ever get me tested? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, okay, you gotta be a little faster. You're like bearing the lead on this. I was like, so like, am I on the spectrum? And she's like, yeah, like a little bit. Just kept that heater on me for 28 years. What? I'm not like I remembered. I was probably like 8 when I was tested or something. I don't have a real memory until it like kicks in at 14 or whatever the fuck. I don't know. I don't know if it's actually true or not either, because like my mom would also be the kind of person to mess with me about something like that. So I have no idea, but I'm pretty sure. Pro tip: if you do programming, you probably are. Nah, that's fair. That's fair. I just just kept that one, huh? I mean, I wouldn't have been. It's like it's not particularly useful or unuseful information to know, right? You just kind of be like, yeah, kind of figured. Like, mom sounds great. Just messing with you for the fun of the game. My mom's awesome. I love my parents. She did one time scare the absolute shit out of me because she has an EpiPen because she has allergies. And one time, and I'm a hypochondriac. One time she thought it would be funny as a joke to pretend to like inject me with an EpiPen because it was the test one, so it's not a real EpiPen. It doesn't do anything. Like it doesn't even have a needle. It just looks like an EpiPen. And I got freaked out, dude. But I don't know why I brought that story up. No, I love my mom. She's great. We laughed about it after, but at the time I was like, I thought you were legit about to send me to the hospital. So you're on the spectrum, your mom is really mean. No, it's not like that. Because, like, this shouldn't be, like, a surprise to anyone, but my mom also knows about me quite a bit. Like, she knows my name and how I act and stuff, because she, like, was part of my life for the entire time of it. So, if it would just be teasing to be like, yeah, you have traits. But I'm pretty sure she was serious. But it was not in a mean way. No, my mom is a very, very kind person. Unless, I don't know. I don't know why I said unless. I don't know any of other instances of her not being that, but maybe she has like a dark past since I moved out. I don't know. Anyways, this is my impression of a list of sound effects. But as we add more stuff, I'll think of more stuff. But there you go. But yeah. Also, hello, Red Cyber Dragon. How you been? I haven't seen you in a minute. I watch your streams sometimes, so it's a little too much for my little idiot brain to keep up with sometimes. Because like I find Reddit hard enough to digest sometimes, where it's like, hey, did you see like the last 15 executive orders? And I'm like, oh, I want to throw up. But I respect people who have a higher tolerance than I do for that kind of thing. The thing is, like, none of it's gonna change my mind. I already know what, or like how I'm voting in the next and probably every election for the rest of my life, and it's pretty consistent with how I've done it so far. So very kind, which is not trying to traumatize you. It's never intentional traumatizing. There was one time where I was like a really little kid, and She feels really bad about this, which is why I think it's funny to bring it up. But she was like just cooking like Rice Krispie treats or something, I don't know. And you use marshmallows for that. And so she had like 2 bags of marshmallows or something. And so one of them was like big marshmallow, like large marshmallows. And she like, I was like in the kitchen and we were just hanging out. And she like, and my sister was, one of my sisters was there too. And she like throws a big marshmallow at one of my sisters. Not hard, just like yoink, right? Just like tossed it. And it's a marshmallow. So just like, ah ha ha, so silly. We're like having a small food fight, LOL, right? The second bag of marshmallows were like mini marshmallows. And I don't know the specific logistics of how this happened, but I guess at some point the bag of mini marshmallows had been able to mingle with the air molecules that exist on planet Earth. And the thing about like marshmallows and air is that if you leave them in that, they'll eventually like dry out. And so after observing that you can like basically throw a marshmallow at like Justin Verlander speeds. Fucking who? Is that the pitcher for the Detroit Lions? Or not the Detroit Lions, the Detroit Tigers? Pause. Why do I know a baseball player? Sorry, that came out of like the fucking archives. That's an SF, so I assume he doesn't play for Detroit anymore, huh? He's 42 years old? I still have a shot at being pro STVX. Anyways, so she took like the bag of small marshmallows to like jokingly throw some at me. But the thing is, if a marshmallow has been exposed to the elements, they harden like a lot. So she basically just like full speed yeeted an entire handful of rocks at me. It hurts so bad. Like straight to the face too. I'm sure I took every single one. She felt really bad. To this day, if I bring it up, she feels really bad. I still think it's very funny though. What a tank. I did. I just took it all straight to the face. Absolutely tanked that shit. Now every time we have marshmallows, of course, I bring it up. But yeah, it's kind of funny. I was fine. There's a similar incident with a small wooden spoon. Turns out like centripetal force scales with like the size of the lever. Hey, Animal Crossing playlist, you're all well and good, but this is not it. We're gonna go next on that. Much better. I don't need like chimes versions of lullabies. I'm all set on that. Okay, what were we doing in our video game? Enemy bases. Rain ambience, rain. This has rain in it. Can you not hear it? Wait, let me turn it up a little bit. It's a little louder now. Can you hear the rain? Because I'm getting nothing but rain in my headphones. It has? I've been listening to Skyrim ambience while studying for uni recently. I do find that like video game soundtracks are kind of the GOAT when it comes to like locking in for stuff, because I mean it's kind of why they're made like that, right? I think I got through most of college listening to the Dust Force soundtrack. Dust Force, by the way, one of the best games of all time. Oh, what's that? You like chubby emu videos? You've already been psyoped. Guess what all the background music is, huh? That's Pepper Pillars by Lifeformed off the Dust Force soundtrack. Gotcha. Meant to be background music? Yeah. Plus there's like no words and stuff, which like, yeah, you could just go instrumental, but like it's meant to be a full song without words. So are some instrumental tracks, but it's like lo-fi. I may be a lo-fi hater, and it's not for lack of like, it's not your fault, lo-fi. Because the thing about lo-fi is like, I can only hear the lo-fi guitar like 10,000 times before I'm like, maybe we should try like anything else. It's all in the same key too, which like, I don't know. I don't mean to be like anti-lo-fi posting. If you enjoy lo-fi, go for it. I feel like I've heard all the hits, you know? And now with like all the AI generated stuff, lo-fi is like prime targets for that. I'm just kind of not messing with it. Traditional Chinese music with no words? Interesting. Listen to the wrong lo-fi, piano's where it's at. I could mess with piano. I'm just saying like all the like Spotify lo-fi is low-key the same. It's like 6 songs or whatever. But respect to all artists who make music, obviously. If it's not my thing, it's not my thing. That's alright. It doesn't need to be my thing. Also, it ticks me off that like the lo-fi channel on YouTube, I don't know what DMCA happened to them, but they like had a function collapse and there's only like 10 songs on there now. Bamboo flute music? I love that. Yeah, man. Hell yeah, that's awesome. I like when the Wagaki, I don't know if that's how you say their name, band does like the traditional Japanese like pan flute stuff. That shit is gas, dude. Ole. Or when Undead Corporation did the Ryosin song, but it's the instrumental version with the traditional Japanese flute. Damn. Can I sweep the leaves for you, please? Pause. He's doing tasks. And then we just do a little bit of this. Feel like that for you. And then we can just do a little bit of whoop, 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 whoop. That's me, I did my tasks. I was literally in, where's the, I don't remember, I haven't played Among Us in a long time. Where's it's south of electrical, southeast of electrical. What's that big room where you take out the leaves? And also my life usually. Okay, enemy bases. Let's just spawn one on the game map. Yeah, good. Me too. Let's just put it like here, and then we can figure out exactly what we want to do with it. And that base is also going to spawn units. I think similar to how the barracks has like a unit capacity, like a spawn capacity, I think I want this thing to also have a spawn capacity. So like the main base will have 4, and it detects that when it's at maximum, if you entered its detection range, it will send the attack to where... The nice thing about it being buildings for the detection range is like, then you can find the base and fight the base if you're early to it. Otherwise, it won't do anything till you build a base near it. Played 10 hours of Among Us, one session, had a great time, never played it again. It low-key has like the ultimate niche of like game you can play in a coffee shop with your friends, which is awesome. Soko the Inner Sloth is still working on Among Us. I mean, dude is set, right? Like he won. To improve productivity, we'll be feeding Sky pre-workout in small doses. No more caffeine for the Sky Gray. I might even like detox tomorrow. My head hurt real bad from my coffee today. No pre-work for me. Only, of course, G Fuel for me, for your boy. Hey, what do you think the G in G Fuel stands for? Just take a wild guess. Goose? You're closer than other guesses. Hey, what is this, by the way? Gorilla? Close. Close. It's Gamma. My ass thought it was Gamer, because it's like gamer fuel. In my eyes, I think the greatest gamer fuel you can take is probably like almonds, possibly small like fruits, or small berries like raspberries or blueberries, and then like some carbs would probably be like my thing, not like the most heinous marriage of like artificial sweeteners, literally straight caffeine powder, and things to make the drink a little bubbly. But I maybe I'm like wrong. What's the touch grass one? You're falling for it. Don't. This is a corporation. They not like us, okay? When they make touch grass flavored G Fuel, they're not in on the joke. They're ending the joke. They are decapitating the funny part of the joke. Whenever I hear touch grass now, I'm just going to think about how the fact that it's over. Because G Fuel made a touch grass cucumber lime. Like, just go buy a cucumber and a lime and just put that shit in water. Like, it is actually that easy. Why are you buying, like, fucking distilled powder that tastes relatively approximately close to a cucumber? Cucumbers don't even have a taste. They are nothing. My Despacito monkey didn't enough in the tank to solo the bad for my 2 million challenge. What do I do? Okay, one of us needs to call a doctor. Isaac's tears. Feisty Latina collector's box. Pineapple passion fruit. What are we doing? What? Is this a sky rant? Every day's a sky rant. They taste awesome. Cucumbers? Yeah, cucumbers are kind of the goat. I just can't. Dude, what is this stuff, man? I'm legit curious. What is in... Like, it concerns me that I can't immediately figure out what's actually in your thing. What is in the energy powder? AKA probably just repackaged caffeine. Tell me. Is it energy, hydration, protein? I don't... What is in it? What is in the drink? Energy formula. I'm gonna crash out, I think. What is in the drink? What is the nutrition facts of the drink? There's cold cucumber dish in China that's awesome. It's flavored with vinegar and coriander. I've had that, I think. It's totally gas. Gotta take a quiz for it. I'm gonna crash out. I'm gonna crash out. Continue. What do you mix your G Fuel? Milk? I'm gonna throw up. Yeah, decline. No, you cannot have any cookie syrup. I'm gonna... What type of flavors do you like? Tea. That's not a flavor, but like, go off. Do you like video games? No, I hate them. How many times a week do you drink caffeine? How many times a week do you drink caffeine every day? Y'all gotta line your units up, huh? Pilk enjoyers? I will give Pelk the benefit of the doubt because Alkaline suggested that Pelk is not bad, and I will trust them on that, even though they might be fucking with me. How young are you? I don't... I really hate the phrasing of that question. How young am I? Am I mature for my age? Finding your flavor. I don't care about my flavor. I care about the fucking nutrition Fuck you, buddy. Pelky's terrible, Owl is wrong. They wouldn't lie to me about that, though. How young are you? Yeah. There's a skip button. Run it back. Run it back. Run it back. Pause. Continue. Water. Vanilla. Sure, I love video games. I'm going to hit you with a hammer. Out of the group, I'm gonna take Sonic, but Spyro's a close second. Also, pause. Pick a video game or carrot. Oh, that or's doing fucking work in that sentence. I almost fucking had your ass. Wait, pick a video game or character. You're pushing it. At 600 milligrams, send help. You should drink like a lot of water. Also, if you're like, that's fine. Your body only really holds like 550 milligrams. So like, it's hard to overdose on caffeine. You gotta, I mean, you can. Don't. That's not a challenge. Skip. Your recommended flavors. What is in it? What is in G Fuel? Nutrition facts. Probably could have just started there, huh? G Fuel energy formula. Does anyone else find it like kind of weird that I have to do this much work to figure out what's in the damn thing? Pair with a winter white shaker. I don't think I will. Ingredients. Oh, we got there. This the shit that terrifies me. Sugar 0. That means that shit is like chocked full of just random ass shit. Pomegranate fruit extracts. Pineapple fruit powder. How do you have like fruit powder without sugar though? That confuses the fuck out of me. It's not hard when I tell you I accidentally took 12,000 milligrams in one go. I have topped that. Not that it's a competition, because it isn't. But I did buy this once. What's it called? What's the guy that blends in? It's a Kecleon, but like in the real world. Chameleon? Chameleon. Cold brew. Okay, so do you see this? This is... Let me just show you what's going on here. This is cold brew concentrate. For those of you that are unaware, when you make cold brew, I don't know how you make cold brew to be honest, but this is a thing of cold brew you can buy. Okay? And what you're supposed to do with the cold brew since it's concentrate, there's this big word here that says concentrate. It says it like 5 times on the bottle. Is you put like basically a shot glass full of this into like milk or water, and then you fill up the rest of your coffee mug with like milk or water, and now you have like something approximately close to like a cup of coffee, but or like a cup of cold brew, which a cold brew is stronger than coffee anyways. Okay. If you are stupid, what might happen is that you don't read the word concentrate, whether through your own ignorance or some loose excuse because you're dyslexic, and you pour yourself an entire glass of cold brew concentrate and then drink it as if it's coffee. You will start to be able to hear colors. I don't know how much caffeine this is. Okay, let's do the math. How much caffeine in cold brew concentrate? Not you're wrong. Caffeine content of a bottle of Starbucks Cold concentrate. Can I find this anywhere? 4 ounces of concentrate, 4 ounces of water. So in 4 ounces of concentrate is about 200 milligrams of caffeine. Okay. How much can a standard coffee cup hold in, what is this? Ounces? In ounces. 8 fluid ounces. I don't think that that's true. Standard can be a bit flexible. Because like that's like a, yeah, that's my cups are way larger than that. I'm gonna say 12. So I guess in that case, I only drank like a casual 6,000 or 600 milligrams of caffeine. It's the problem is you can't even fucking tell. I was literally vibrating. Caffeine content per ounce cold brew concentrate. Chameleon. How much is in your thing per thing? You don't say the caffeine content? That's like the main ingredient, I think. Huh? That's sugar, vitamin D, calcium. Oh, but don't worry, I know how much iron it has. The fuck? Like it chills them like a hot 6 ounce cold brew plus 6 ounce water and milk. 3 ounce concentrate, 3 ounce hot water, steamed milk. I kind of like milk plus cold brew concentrate. That kind of goes crazy, actually. Man, I kind of want some cold brew now. I can't. My brain would explode. I need to not take caffeine tomorrow so I can actually get some proper sleep at some point. Tomorrow's gonna suck, man. It's all good. Okay, so, oh god, this website makes me want to throw up. Okay. If you drink 1,200 milligrams, you'll feel like the devil's calling through your organs and not your soul. Yeah, probably. I also used to drink the Starbucks double shot on ice. I don't know if you fuck with that. Starbucks double shot on ice. You ever do one of these? This is just like, they have a fancy name for it. What they should actually call it is just, you're just drinking espresso. I think like the size I got was like 6 shots of espresso or something, which is, you do this. This isn't good. I recommend you don't. Can I make like a suggestion, friend to friend? You drink espresso. I want to distill the information to you that you shouldn't be proud of that. It's not a competition. I mean, you're winning if it was, but it isn't. I feel like you're gonna just make your head hurt. All right. Enemy bases, enemy bases, enemy bases. We're gonna need a thing that holds. So we could have the buildings hold all of these things. We could have like player buildings, enemy buildings. We could rename buildings to player buildings. Do I want the enemy buildings and the player buildings to be in different objects? I mean, obviously yes, but do I want them to both be under the buildings? You have like buildings, player buildings, enemy buildings. I think that's probably the best way of doing it. We're gonna need to move the script down one layer though. So this will be like this. We can call this player buildings. Put the town center in there. And then in here we need to change a couple things. Building extends node 2D. So I guess player buildings will extend buildings. That could work. Yeah, what's up, Maple? Welcome back. I did a chat 2.03 MIL on the 25 Despacito log, so it's not super. Fun zone. I don't. Huh? Yeah, listen to me. You just need to keep yourself topped up on vitamins and water, then you won't get headaches. You still get super jumpy. My anxiety disagrees with you. I have learned that if you are anxious enough, your body can give you a headache for being anxious, which doesn't make sense because I get pissed off when my body has like negative feedback cycles. That should be like just straight up. That's just pissing me off. Oh, you have a little bit of anxiety. Let me give you a headache. Now you think you're gonna die because you have a headache. So it's probably like a fucking brain aneurysm. Now we're anxious about that. Now the headache's getting worse. Oh god, it doesn't get any better. How's the game going? It's going all right. I'm a little bit sleepy gray today, so we're gonna see how it goes. But that script like this, we can say class name player buildings extends buildings. Like that. So I think what I want to do is pull a bunch of this random stuff out and actually put this in the player building. So if I do this and I do X. Sorry. Well, I guess it already has all of these things in its script, huh? Let's put it in the child class first, and then anything I need, I can bubble up to the upper class. Farm already exists in parent class. Not for long. There you go. Now you should be good. And I think the game should just still run. There might be like 1 or 2 references that are wrong. Yeah. Non-existent function begin placing buildings in base node 2D buildings. On barracks spot. Oh right, so you need to be here now. So this will be player buildings. Player buildings. We should access by unique name because it's not going anywhere. We can do that. I changed these to player buildings. Now it should work again. I can place a farm down. It gives us food. Yerp. I can place a barracks down. It spawns a unit. Yerp. Cool. Everything's great. Spread out. I have to sneeze. I clutched up on the mute button. You have no idea. My Osu training kicked in for that one moment. Like one tapped that. Did you hear it? Oh, I wasn't fast enough. No. Translation did a solo tower challenge on Bloons TD6 with the new tower that came out today, but it was on an easy map, so. I feel bad for people that started with Bloons TD6. You will never experience the joy of 1, having a game that's unbalanced, and 2, seeing the new release of a Bloons game. Because like Bloons 1 to 2, what an upgrade. Holy shit. 2 to 3? I mean, it's okay. 3 to 4? You got the glue gunner? You got the banana farm? Holy shit. Bloons 5? Okay, we're games as a service now? Alright, I mean, okay. Then 6 is like, we're like Fortnite posting. That's a great game. Bloons is awesome. Started with 2, I think. I respect you for that. My ass over here on armor games with fucking the original Bloons. And not the tower defense, mind you. No. The kids don't know. Bloons. No, not Bloons TD6. I'm talking Bloons, dude. What the hell is this shit? The game can't even like properly load in. This is gonna be loud as hell, I think. That's not that bad actually. Oh, me? I'm gonna go to new game. I'm gonna go to this level. I'm gonna aim my dart probably like here, and I'm the greatest to ever do it. Gambit is a better game than BTD or Bloons TD6. I think Gambit probably mogs the original Bloons. It popped 83%. I'm gonna get 100, but though I think I can get 100. Shave a little bit off the top. That's not looking good. It's not looking good. Try again. I was going to. You don't gotta remind me. Sometimes you gotta be like real tricky with it because you actually want to go up before you go down or something. So you like do a little bit of like one of these angles or something. I'm gonna reset that. God, the fucking actual like balloon sound effect is horrible. That seems solid. Seems solid. I don't know how you clean this up though. That's a start. That's a start. We're close. Maybe you got to do like you got to shave off the bottom first, you know, a little bit like this guy, and then totally just miss entirely. Weak throw going for the arc. Yeah, I was thinking that, but like I don't know if that's gonna. You can go like that, but then like you kind of got the same problem, right? It's kind of hits you with like one of these maybe. I think you just need to get lucky with the internal pops too, because sometimes those will be a little bit different, you know? It's not super consistent which one they're gonna hit. There you go. Doesn't know the special balloon explodey strat. If you want to like actually cheat, what you do is you click this button where it says unlimited darts mode, and then you can just kind of just like do whatever the fuck you want because the game doesn't work anymore. So then you can like really clear this stuff up. Level complete. Yeah, all right. Next level, please. Not my best. We're not sending our best out here. Triangles. Ugh, disgusting. Okay, so we have the player building and we have the town center. I'm gonna make a new script here now. So I'm gonna call this node 2D like here, and I can say this will be enemy buildings. We can unique name this and attach a script, although I don't think we need a script yet. What we're gonna do first is actually add the enemy building first. We do something like this. Now I do want to make it a building, which we already have a scene for. So I can actually make like a building scene for this and then just spawn it in, I guess. So if I go to the explodey darts, not balloon explodey. True. I feel like we're in the wrong vibes for Animal Crossing. I was doing good, but now I'm in like I'm in Happy Home Designer. No. Just play like New Leaf or something. Yeah. I'm gonna jump to the New Leaf part of the video. Much better. There's one that says 5 p.m. and it's 3 hours and 10 minutes long. That seems wrong. So if I just play this, does it just play this for like literally, hang on. Yeah, it's literally 3.5 hours of 5 p.m. from Animal Crossing New Leaf. All right, yeah, click the button. That's a long time to be 5 p.m. Yeah, you'd think it would be like exactly 1 hour. Or maybe like 59 minutes, 59 seconds, 59 milliseconds, 59 like plank seconds or whatever, but I don't make the rules. I don't make the music either. I leave that to Pyam. It's easier that way. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna put the building in here then, I guess. So I need to copy like one of the farm building-ish type deals, and then I can scoop out the stuff from that and then move it over to a base building for the enemy. It'll actually work similar to the barracks. So maybe I'll take a look at the barracks first. It's the same thing. Barracks extends building, so we can have we just call it like enemy base or something, and then on produce we're gonna produce an enemy. That makes sense. And we can tweak the actual enemy spawning formula later. Yeah, that makes sense. So I'm gonna copy all these because I think I'm gonna need them. I'm gonna make a new scene. Call this enemy building .tsn. Oh, we should call it actually this enemy building .tsn. That's, I guess, enemy base. In case we want to have like an enemy turret or something. I don't know. This doesn't need the placement sprites because it's a different kind of thing because we're not really placing these. It also needs a like a thing on it, a sprite. Let's just make another temp sprite real quick. Let's go to the barracks, and I'm gonna change the text here to say BA for base. And then we also need to do a thing where this is actually hidden. I'm gonna say BA for base. Stop it. That. I'm kind of in love with this like really shitty sprite placeholder stuff. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we're gonna move this all down. It's nice to just get the slicing done like this quickly. Export as. Choose file. This will be the enemy base. That. So we need this thing to be obscured by fog of war. In other words, it needs to sit under the fog layer. But I think currently everything sits under the fog layer, so I don't actually think we have to do anything. Like if I go to place you in game, I think it's probably fine. We're gonna attach a script here. We're gonna call this class name enemy base extends building. It just gets all the building stuff. I think eventually what we would want to do is split this into building. Building is the parent class, and then we have an extension off that that's called placeable building. Placeable building, and then we can also have off of building as well, we can have spawnable building. So we could do something like this. Either have a placeable building or a spawnable building. So like stuff that we place is a placeable building, stuff that spawns in the game is a spawnable building if we need to slice this up. But I think having everything inherent from a building right now is not really the end of the world. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to you as well. Welcome in. Hope you're doing well. This needs something. So this is going to have a production timer like normal. We also need to resource this bit. I'm going to write that down. Resource building properties, e.g. production timer, etc. Okay, so you need an enemy unit, so we're gonna go ahead and make a scene for an enemy unit. Stop putting this thing in here. For the unit, I'm gonna use the same things. I'm gonna use the same units that we used from Gambit. Why not? So I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna go to game dev assets. I think they're in the Admiral folder. That's Admiran's character creator, just regular Admiran. So that's the skeleton. That's the Spectre. It's the Void Penguin. The Void Penguin is back. We got the little guys, and we also got the Void Penguins, the affectionately called Void Penguins. Look at these guys. They kind of float around and they can do little attacks. Very neat. I do want to have 4 directions. I don't want to have the walking animation, I think. I don't want to use it for some reason. For some reason, I want to do the wiggly sprites, and I don't know why, but I think it would just look cuter. So I'm going to do wiggly sprites for these gentlemen as well. What do you mean by wiggly sprites? It's a surprise. You'll just have to wait and see. Spectre 2, I believe. Left, right, Void Penguin kind of cheeked up, though. Not you. Sorry, you ain't got nothing back there. But my man's, though. He kind of got a whole bakery back there. Anyways. Yeah, we'll just grab the 1 sprite for now. So you'll just... oh, that's attacking. We just need, like, the walking. So we'll just use this sprite for now. That's good enough for us. Okay, we're going to copy this in. Going to go to assets, create new folder. This will be enemies. We can go ahead and paste and create a new folder here. We'll call this the Spectre. Is Spectre like this or is it like this? Spectre, R-E. Yeah. And then we can go ahead and yoink this in. Yeah. Now we got the Spectre, so we need to go ahead and make a unit for this. Now we have a spearman unit, and you have a script. You extend player unit, and you actually don't have anything here yet, so we don't need to worry too much about this. But I think I will have a new script for enemy unit, and then enemy unit, so we'll have something like this. We'll have enemy, so we'll have units, and then unit will either be from player unit can go to player unit, or it can go to enemy unit. Something like this. And then spearman comes from player unit, or like, I guess this should be spearman, but spearman comes from player unit. Yeah, something like this. It's Spectre, like metry and centry, but isn't center and meter ER? Am I crazy? Don't answer that. I don't want the smoke on the answer to that question. Okay. So we're gonna go back to, we're gonna create a new scene. Create new scene. We're gonna call this the we just had the discussion. Spectre, like that. You can go ahead and attach a script here. We're gonna call it Spectre like that. We're gonna say class name Spectre, and I'm gonna leave it as Node2D for now. That's okay. We can make that. We don't have the other thing for the class yet, so this is actually okay. We're gonna go to the spearman. The Spectre doesn't need the box, so the Spectre just needs a sprite 2D. I should never ever do that with the sprite 2D node because it gets all fucky. Sprite 2D. Nope, I meant animated sprites. Of course. Animated sprite 2D. And then we can go here, a new sprite frames, here, and we can load in assets, enemies, Spectre, Spectre idle, and I think I'm just gonna use this one for now. Seems good enough for me. So we got this little guy, and then you do the offset so it looks like he's floating. Yeah, just this. So we want to do the position Y. We're gonna bring him up a little bit. And actually, I think he's supposed to be like floating above the ground, so he'll look something like that. Probably something like that. Oh, you're not actually in the scene, huh? Let me put you in the scene. I want to see what you look like. The spearman, I think we cut it in half, right? Yeah, 0.5. So I'm gonna cut you in half as well. Sorry. Hope this doesn't hurt too much. Okay, now you're like way off the ground though. I'm gonna say -10, which is just a little bit of a. You're not crazy. Crazy? I was crazy once. They locked me in a room, a rubber room with rats. The rats made me crazy. Crazy. I was crazy once. They locked me in a room, a rubber room with rats. Rats made me crazy. Crazy. I was crazy. Okay, so we're gonna have. This base is going to have a script, and it's going to have produce. How does this work? I'm in the wrong thing. No, I'm in the right thing. It extends building. Ready, production timer connects. Okay, weirdly, this is going to get the placing stuff. It's going to have begin placing, toggle can place, and all this stuff. I don't think I care. Toggle can place, end placing. This, when we split out the building types, only certain types of building are going to have all this stuff. The thing I care about right now is that it has the produce on the timer. So the production timer is already actually good. I'm going to say function produce. How does this work? My brother in Christ, you made the code. Yeah, but like, come on, be real. That don't mean shit around here. This is the Spectre. Enemy base like this. I'm gonna close you for now. I do want to pull in the scene though. I'm gonna call it Spectre like this. So we can say on function produce. We'll say, how does the barracks do it? Spawn unit equals player unit is the spawn unit. Spawn unit position equals. I'm gonna do this then. I'm gonna say like this. Player units. This will be enemy units. And this will be spawn unit Spectre. And we can set our thing to us. Now we don't have enemy units, and the reason we don't have enemy units is because we don't have we only have this one for player units. We need to add a new child node. And maybe it's even better if we do something like this. We can have units. And then we put the player units in the units, and it's referenced by scene, so it should all be okay. And then we can have another node like this and call this enemy units. Units like this. We'll go ahead and access as unique. We don't really need a script, but I'll attach one anyways, just to make our lives easier. We'll say class name enemy units. Extends node 2D is fine for now. Do you have a reference to the player units? No, you do not? Okay, everything's fine. We can do something like this. In the buildings, I guess we can just have you extend out this thing. Unit manager moment? A little bit, yeah. Press F to place farm. Nora, it's a good suggestion, but I have to get the game working before we can get the hotkeys done. I'm sorry. We'll say player units like this. We can also do onReady var enemy units equals % enemy units. And again, I think this shouldn't... I don't think both buildings should necessarily have this thing, but until I see a reason why it's... I think it's okay. How long have you been doing coding in GD scripts? I think like a year and some change at this point, which is... That's kind of crazy. We're actually kind of past the 1 year mark with the Godot. That's sweet. Unity made one mistake and now all of a sudden I'm like an absolute Godot enjoyer. That's awesome. I love this language though. I love this language. I love this engine. I have a very good time with Godot. Big fan. Big fan. Recommend everyone to try it. Did you check out the panda thingy? I did. I heart reacted, or I gave the fire react on it. It's a very cute panda. So you have reference to the enemy units. I want to actually spawn one of you, or I want to... Okay, so I need to attach a script here. Enemy buildings. So this is class name enemy buildings extends buildings, which I think is an empty script at the moment. Yeah. Oh, only player buildings has all this garbage, huh? When I spawn a building, this is the thing that needs to get yoinked up 1 layer. Okay, so this needs to come up 1 layer. This needs to go... this is like a universal function. We're gonna do like that. Here we also need to get all the references that... So we need camera, ground layer, inventory. This we maybe don't need on this version of this. We can, well, again, there's no reason not to have it. We might as well just have it anyways. So we go to buildings. I'm gonna bubble up all the scene refs, I guess. It's not resolve class buildings. Yeah, it doesn't work yet. So I'm gonna bubble up all the scene refs. This. And then I can also say new building dot enemy enemy units equals. Oh, I guess Godot's a consenting language. That's fine. Programming some code to calculate the number of stitches to get like the given outline, given with Bezier curves. You know, the stuff in vector graphics. Don't insult me. I know what a Bezier curve is. Now, could I explain it to you with like English? No, probably not. Do you really just want to empty enemy buildings objects? That's all the enemy bases shouldn't be hive mind and should hopefully have a few different random behaviors. I think you misunderstand the purpose of this object. This is just the thing that holds all the children for all the buildings. This, I'm just not using the word manager for all of these, but this is enemy building manager. I think having manager all over your code looks really silly, so I just use plural and stuff. So I'm going to make the body like a pear shape, and that's hard to figure out by hand, so I'll draw the pear shape and have the computer calculate the circumference in stitches. Sweet. Right on. What advice can you say for beginners in coding? Any tips? I think two things. One, well, maybe three things. One, try not to use like ChatGPT and AI tools as much as you can. They are useful, and I'm not saying like avoid them entirely. Just don't rely on them. And anytime you use either ChatGPT or like Stack Overflow answers, try to understand what every line of code is doing. That's like blanket advice. My actual best advice for you is just make a bunch of do a bunch of projects. Like game jams are a great example of this. Your first game jam, if you compare how good you are at making stuff from your first game jam to your like last game jam, I don't know, that's not really like a good way of saying that, but like the more you iterate, the better you're going to get. So the more you can have like projects where you're like, I'm going to give myself 1 week to make an app that has a database and can, let's say hypothetically just pulling something at random, you can like go to my webpage and guess if your word is correct with 6 guesses, right? The more you do like these small projects, the better you're going to get and the faster you'll get better. I think the time that you learn is when you can like sit down and do a thing and then like give yourself a deadline or a goal for that thing. I think it's harder to learn when you just work on one thing forever. Not that that's necessarily like a bad thing to do. Toby Fox moment. Yeah. If you get something even remotely playable for your first even few game jams, you're doing something really well. Totally agree. Yeah. I think just like make simple stuff. Like go, it's the same thing pixel artists say, right? Like go make a pixel art of Mega Man because it's really easy. And you can just literally copy and paste what other people have done and you just begin to understand it intuitively. So like go make Pong straight up. Like open Godot, go make Pong, or like go make Galaga. I think my first actual game in Godot was a Suica clone, a Suica game clone, and I learned so much about the engine just making my little Suica game. So yeah, go. Nope, you don't have to like. Originality is dead. Everything is derivative. Go make stuff that people already made. Try to make it on your own, and then try to add your own little twist to it. Try to iterate really quickly. Try to just do a lot of projects, and don't get too discouraged when you can't figure something out. No one is good at programming. That actually might be like my best advice to anyone doing anything ever, is nobody actually knows anything, including me. Look at someone who has like 30 years of experience coding in Java. They know a lot, but like they don't really know anything. My first game was a bucket collecting drops of water. Hell yeah. I think my first game in Scratch was a game where you could like throw objects off of a tall building and it would like calculate the distance or like calculate the trajectory it would take when it left the building, just using like, I don't know, like y equals mx plus b equations or whatever. It's the like velocity equation is just acceleration times time squared plus vt plus position or whatever, and then the acceleration is just the force of gravity or something. Started by making stuff like knots and crosses and batch. Yeah, just go make stuff. It's the best way to learn is just go make stuff. Go make a bunch of stuff. Try to give yourself a deadline on the stuff you're making too, so that way like you don't just endlessly kind of drag on this thing. Because as soon as you start over, you're going to be better the next time around. So yeah. Yeah, and don't get discouraged. Coding is hard. Writing the words, not too difficult. And that's the part that ChatGPT is good at, unfortunately, is like the easiest part. Taking really big problems and breaking them down into lots of smaller problems, that's the tricky part. So just get good at that. Try to look at a big problem. So like for us, we're doing all of the stuff about the enemy. Well, it's like, okay, well, we're going to do the enemy base. Well, before we do that, we want to create the enemy unit. That's easy. That's like one small piece that I can do. Thanks for the advice, Thor. Oh no. We don't do that here. Now you can tell my advice comes from the heart because I actually finish my games. Sorry. Pull it back. Sorry. Like he's more famous than me. I'm allowed to punch up, all right? Ouch, damn. He's more famous than me. I can punch up. You're allowed. I listen, as soon as he wants to punch down and make fun of my small little indie games that cost nothing and are literally take 2 seconds, clipped and shipped, rip for my boy, you just made the list. Typing part is like the smallest part of any programming project, TBH. 100%. Yeah, I completely agree. It's just the how do you make big problem lots of small problem. That's the hardest part of programming. And then once you get professional, the hardest part of programming is translating what users want into things that can actually exist. That's the real job. Hey, can we have it like... I know that we have it right now where it reads the user's email, but can we get it to read their birthday instead? I can't even begin to explain to you how impossible that is. No. We would just really like to see their birthday. I'd have to move literally heaven and earth to get that thing to display the user's birthday. Galactitron needs a time date signature. But Galactitron doesn't support ISO like they said they would 3 months ago. So we're blocked. Sorry, I was going off. The reason I never get some people obsessed over typing speed. Literally, even if you do hunt and peck, you probably spend more time thinking and sketching out stuff than you do typing. Yeah, I completely agree. Yeah. And like, well, I don't know. I mean, it does make some difference, right? But not, I just don't think it very much at all. That's a classic. I'm glad you got the reference. I dropped You Sad Useless Reptile the other day, and it fell on fucking crickets, man. Not a single person got it. Y'all motherfuckers really never seen How to Train Your Dragon, huh? It's an insult. I once made a friend in college from wearing a How to Train Your Dragon t-shirt. He really liked my shirt. Relevant XKCD. When a user takes a photo, the app should check whether or not they're in a national park. Sure, easy GIS lookup. Give me a few hours and check whether the photo is of a bird. I'll need a research team in 5 years. Yeah. Yeah. In CS, it can be hard to explain the difference between the easy and the virtually impossible. The ones that get me are like, can we move the button to the left side of the screen? And I have to be like, no, it's like literally, it would be easier to build the entire app from scratch than to move the button from the left side of the screen to the right side of the screen. And other times it's like, can we make the button blue? Yeah, of course. What a simple question. Of course we can make the button blue. It's literally one, you do that in one line. It's like an HTML, or it's like it's just a hex code change and you're done. It's so funny to me because we actually had one of these at work the other day where it's like, can we have the output from like a file from the database? And I'm like, no, we literally, like, there's just zero way that we could ever support that in any form or capacity. Like, we'd have to build an entirely new system to let users do that. Can I output it as a CSV? Literally one-liner. Just throw that shit into pandas. Of course. It's so simple. I could do it by the end of the day. They're like, oh, well, how many months will it take? 10 minutes? Only How to Train Your Dragon I saw was the third, and it was rough. I don't really remember the second and third ones that much. I think they were like fine. The first one was like just, that one moves your heart a little bit, you know? How to Train Your Dragon is so good. I rewatched them recently with my brother, and the first movie is absolute cinema. The first movie is like just straight up, like just a masterpiece from start to finish, and it doesn't waste your time either, which I really appreciate about movies. That movie is literally like start of the thing, narration, First night, dragons attack. Dude hits Toothless with like the net gun. He's curious about if he got the dragon. He finds Toothless. He makes friends with Toothless immediately while like training arc is happening. So like you don't even have to do like split screen on that shit. It's literally at the same time. Finds the girl finds him like training Toothless. He's like, oh, no worries. He's actually like a nice guy. You wouldn't get it. And then big dragon attack. They get on the dragons. They save the day. And like it feels good the entire time. So it's actually like just, it's a gas movie. It doesn't waste your time. Fantastic. One of my favorite movies. Top 3 movies. Thanks for asking. The Matrix, Django Unchained, How to Train Your Dragon. What a weird mix, by the way. Yeah, those all 3 of those have lots in common. Same time, trying to figure out how to back a rug. Back a rug? But Google failing me today? You can find stuff in English, but in order to get the materials, I need to know what it's called in Dutch. I don't know what it means to back a rug. But good luck with that. Enemy units like this, player units. I need to place this building down. So I'm going to say... I'm going to do it in the ready frame for now. Truman Show is up there as one of my favorite movies. I think The Truman Show is really good. I think The Truman Show is a very good movie. I think one of the absolute, like, fantastic lines of that is like, I want to be an explorer. Oh, you're too late. Everything's already been explored. Fantastic line. You're too late. Everything's already been explored. Ah, darn. Really makes that, like, born too early to explore the universe thing hit, huh? Do something like this. I'm going to say enemy base. When I do a building spawn, I do create building, which I guess is equivalent to spawning a building. The playlist is looping. I don't want this one, man. Skip. Okay, thank you. We just need the scene, so I can say create building. The thing about this is it doesn't place the building anything. Or place the building anything? Place the building anywhere. I need to like... I need to be able to pass in a location to this. How am I doing it in the player building right now? Begin placing building, place building. It's at map coordinates and the building type. So this is actually the one that I want. Yeah, I want this one to bubble up as well. I'm gonna do this. Place building. Building positions map coordinates equals building. You don't have building positions, huh? I guess... Well, things might get a little bit weird here, because I think I want this to be in both. Because you have building positions. We can't... Well, it's okay. Actually, it's okay to do it like this. So we can have it like this. You could do something like this. And then in the player... So these are state variables. State variables. In the player building, we're going to actually place this one instead. So we're going to place the actual town center. So we actually need to have this be a scene because it's going to be its own like town center thing. I'm not going to mess with that yet. I'm just going to do it by hand. We'll say building positions equals this. We can just do it this way. That's okay. There we go. Yeah, on the other side of a rug is like a grippy material. Yeah, I normally just buy the one from IKEA and just throw that shit down and forget about it. Back a rug, the firm material that hold the soft fibers together at the back of the rug. So it's like a verb. You like put the rug, you put the back of the rug on the rug. Of course. How could I be so naive? I will also say, speaking of being naive, I have a present for everybody. It's not a good present, don't get excited. It is unfortunately ad time. What do we want to watch today? What do we want to watch today? We want to say... I want to try to make an RTS, see if I can. Thanks, guy. That sounds awesome. Good luck in your endeavors. Let's do... is like Animal Crossing ambient gameplay? Is that a thing? Cozy Rainy Long Play Part 43. Working on the market. This is actually just someone's video. I don't want to... That seems cruel. I shouldn't do that. Video game ASMR, no talking, Animal Crossing New Horizons winter decorating. I don't want to steal someone's content. That seems wrong. I'm gonna do the Minecraft parkour. Minecraft parkour. Dude, Animal Crossing music, kind of the goat, huh? Alright, here you go. This is for you. Don't get too distracted. Alright, I'll be right back. It's ad time. Here be. I have consumed more Oreos. Kind of still chewing on them at the moment, sorry. Dude, I love Oreos so much. God damn. They're so good. Welcome back, everyone. Enough of that. By the way, I'm kind of chilling anyways. I'm kind of feeling like some Scribble.io in the Discord after, maybe. If there's public support. That'd be fun today. I definitely want to do it this weekend. It was so much fun last time we did Scribble.io. Olé. Grisati the goat of not drawing the prompt until like the last 3 seconds. So the rug doesn't act like a slapstick banana peel when you step on it. I like having like traps laid around my house though. You don't know which of these blankets is safe to step on. One of them, frictionless surface. You're about to die. One of these carpets has infinite friction. The other one only tells the truth. Okay, so we're doing this. We're gonna have something like var spawn spawn base map coordinates. I'm gonna have this be, I don't know. Where are we on the map here? Let me like take a look at our actual map. It's kind of hard to see when the map is made out of the ground layer that's like invisible. If I turn you off for a moment, let's put the base like out here maybe. I put this, what is that, 7 minus 10? I'm gonna go to the enemy building, so I'm gonna say 7 minus 10. 7 minus 10. Then I can say place building. And I'm gonna say base map coordinates. And I can say enemy base. Like that. That is a packed scene. That doesn't work like that, right? What do you expect from the you need building? Create building. These don't do the same thing, huh? I need create building. Add child new building. Place building. Fog layer revealed tile. This should be like on place building. This should actually be a signal. Yeah. Then it would update this thing. Create building, I guess, is the one we want to use initially. Fog layer revealed tiles, this thing. Building position. But like, when do I actually place the position of this thing? That's why you comment your code more? I just did. What are you talking about? Create building. We want to use this one because that's how we get our thing. I just don't remember where I actually do the placement of the thing. So that, I mean, that'll give us a base, obviously. Let me go to the actual building, like, code. Maybe it's in there. Building. Inputs. Begin placing. Oh, it actually has a thing on automatically on it. End play. Yeah, it does end placing. It's just because it's already snapping around. Right. Anyways, Godot have that hover explainer of functions and the triple thing summary you can write for that. I don't know. I honestly, and like, don't take this the wrong way, I honestly think if you need to use that a lot in your code, it's a little bit of a skill issue. Like, you just name it like toggle can place building, then, because this is the shit that annoys me when you're like, okay, toggle can place building. Toggles the state of the building into a new state that is equal to if it can be placed. Like, yeah, bro, that's what this says. That's what the words say. Sad, you're gonna read the comments later and be like, toggle the place thing. I don't know what that means. Yeah, how's it going, Kitten Mitten? Kitten Mittens, how are you? How are you? Welcome in. It says first time message, but I'm pretty sure I've seen your name before. If not, it's just a banger name. That could also be, it's also possible. But welcome in. So if I go here, I can create the building, and that'll like spawn it down here. So I think they'll actually put it at 0, 0 on the map. Enemy units not declared in current scope. Enemy units not declared in current scope. Are you sure? Isn't it this guy? Because you're like a building. Buildings have it. I guess they don't have it. Huh. On ready. Go. Hang out in other chats too. Ah, that could be why. Enemy units. I don't think it needs these references, but maybe it does. I'm not totally sure. Begin placing, place building, begin place building. So which one do I call again? You think your doc streams will help you? Non-existent function can place building in base node 2D enemy buildings. This is the part where we need to split this into the two different types of buildings, I believe. If event is input mouse button. But this is only if it's placing. Oh, but it spawns in placing, right? That's not true, actually. We want to go to this scene. We want to say, this just never is placing. So we can say, is placing. Yes. You can just say that. Is placing in class bot. Yeah, my bad. Here you go. Probably carpet making is too niche of a hobby for stores within my country to have the supplies. I pop by a fabric market? Neat. Get it from a more international vendor? You can never escape Jeff Bezos. So that place is at, oh, it's over there. That doesn't seem right. I for sure thought I picked like over here. Let me take a look at that again. Hang on. It's possible that the ground layer doesn't line up where I think it does. I said I wanted it here, like 7 minus 10, and it was over here. Oh, it's spawning at 0, 0 because we're not setting the position yet. So this is actually just 0, 0. That makes a lot of sense. We actually need to set the position then. I clicked a lot of buttons. I don't know what I just did. I'm in move mode. Oh, I don't feel well. Go back. Take me back to this mode. Y'all, I don't feel good. What's the regular mode? Move mode? No. Rotate mode? No. Scale mode? No. What's like the regular scene? Oh, okay, I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. Oh, that was spooky. Always torn on comments. I feel like I should make code clean enough not to need comments, but that doesn't always happen. I completely agree. I think sometimes you need them, sometimes you don't. I think like saying always use comments or never use comments is probably a bad way of doing it, but it also depends on what I'm making. Like if I'm doing stuff for work, I probably want to add comments more because like other people need to read it. But like if I'm just making something for me for a game jam, not really my highest priority. I don't think you can really go wrong with just naming your stuff more like semantically or with having extra comments. I mean, you can just always ignore them, right? I don't think you need to like draw a line in the sand. Whatever works for you is probably good enough. So long as you're not writing like a mathematician. You do like this shit. Function, it'll be like function EQ1 x, y, and then you say like return square root x plus y plus k. If you do this, I will see you in the lowest pits of hell. What do you do for work? Unfortunately, I'm an AI developer. I know. I hate it too, but it does pay well. Well, pays enough to pay rent. I guess I'm closer to something you would consider like a data scientist, though a lot of my work is just actually just back-end stuff. Because most of AI development now is just calling other people's AI. You don't really build that much of your own models anymore. I used to build models a lot. Now I mostly just use other people's models. I'm mostly just here for my intuition and my ability to say like, hey, maybe LLMs aren't like the greatest thing to ever touch this earth since Jesus Christ or sliced bread, and maybe they can't do everything. Maybe they can't do a lot of things actually. Maybe we should only really use it for NLP tasks, like the one thing that it's actually capable of doing. And then the rest of all of the people that I have met in my professional career, like, holy shit, have you seen this LLM thing? We've done it. We've solved artificial, like, general intelligence. And I gotta be like, Average Stack Overflow response solution is y times h divided by p/l to the power of b. Yeah. Very cool. Honestly, I have a buddy that worked at Stability AI, which had some decent products. I think AI products are, like, pretty cool. No, I don't mean that. I think AI can be cool. It was cool when we were doing stuff like how to grow plants better in a lab, or like how to detect cancer earlier. And now it's more like how do we bully Twitter artists more efficiently, and I'm just kind of not vibing with it. What do you mean? Just take the LLM and anything and it'll be better? It's like RGB lights in a computer case? Yeah, a little bit. Well, if we just prompt it better, then it'll be able to solve any problem. No, that's not how that works. I was about to lose my fucking mind. I saw on LinkedIn the other day, so Claude came out. Apple basically made a paper called The Illusion of Reasoning or something like that, which basically said like Claude as a model can't reason. And then some like random fucking schmuck who talked to ChatGPT a lot published a paper called The Illusion of Reasoning, which is a takedown of Apple's like paper that takes down the illusion that Claude can do reasoning. I'm like, no, actually it does know what it's doing. I even asked it and it said it could. Oh god, dude. I actually don't know I don't know what we do about AI in academia. Cause we gotta say no AI contributions of any kind, right? I don't know if you guys like keep up with any scientific literature. That sounded extremely pretentious. But like I read, or at least I used to read like papers with code a lot because I was an AI researcher, like an AI developer, right? So I used to keep up with a lot of this stuff. And it is completely unusable now. Every paper you read in like papers with code or like archive is literally just random people. They just are basically posting their chat log with ChatGPT, and it's like actually completely unusable. And they just be making stuff up. I don't know. Like there was one. I want to see if I can like pull up the picture. I think I have it on my. I think I sent it to one of my friends not too long ago. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see. Scrolling up. I don't think so. Oh, here we go. I found it. This was in a paper I read recently. And I want you to know that there was nothing next to this equation that explained what any of these letters meant. This was just in a paper on Archive. Ah, yes. The RS of A, R, talks to the robot squiggly line to get A of R and S, but in our model, it does RLH F of R of S of A to the H, A to the R, theta. Oh, that's the reward function? Reward of what? Huh? I read that shit. I was like, what? Like, so it's like just a legit problem, and we have to like lock down these places like academia and stuff. Honestly, everywhere, because like, I don't know. It's crazy. Like before AI use in academia, a lot of papers were falsified anyways. I guess it speaks to a wider problem of oversight and accountability and whether peer review is being taken seriously. Yerp. Yeah, but like, it's not a problem of like behavior. It's a problem of volume, right? I need to like, anytime someone brings up something like that, I need to say like no system is perfect ever. So like, yeah, obviously like the AI, it wasn't perfect like academia research papers weren't perfect before AI came in, and that's the thing, that's the problem. The problem is now the barrier to just output random fake untested bullshit is at the fucking floor, right? And so people are just like spitting out random stuff, and it's not helpful. Random but same vibe favorite. Looked up the symbols for washing clothes in America. They make no sense. They are like crazy. Oops, I just closed my entire tab. Let me open a new one. Firefox. Washing machine symbols, America. Yeah, this stuff. Yeah, this list going. Yeah. Non-chlorinated bleach if needed. Ah, of course, the 3 triangles indicate that to me very clearly, yes. Also, how many, like, bowling balls can you fit into your washing machine is telling you the temperature that you're supposed to wash these things at. A for any solvent. P for any solvent except tetrachloride. Alright, this one's pissing me off. Hang on. Any solvent except tetrachloroethylene. Shouldn't that be like a T? Why the fuck is it a P? Oh, because actually if you look at the chemical composition of tetrachloroethylene, it actually has P, whatever P is on the periodic table, so actually it makes a lot of sense. Alright, smart guy. Why is petroleum F? Now W for wet cleaning? I get you on that one. I get you. Straight up. Excellent. P for please don't use tetrachlorine. And F for fuck you if you use anything other than petroleum solvent. It's the thing that bothers me is that P is the first letter in petroleum. I'm gonna crash out. Oh, P, is that the petroleum one? You idiot. No, that's tetrachloroethylene. Petroleum, you're talking about F, of course. I like the chair next to the dry clean. With the chair next to the dry clean? So it's just like the sit your ass down and wait. Where's dry clean? Hang to dry, dry in the shade, do not dry, do not tumble dry. Listen, all of these symbols are meaningless. You can just put the thing in the washing machine. Just throw it in, put it on like cold probably, and you can live your life. It's fine. You don't need to understand the letters anyway since you literally cannot dry clean at home. Then why are they making them, huh? You think, why would someone make something for someone other than me? That doesn't make any sense. That seems like a waste of time. Crazy group of adults agreed that these, and then thought people would understand. I mean, the thing is, it's better than having none of those symbols, right? Because like, if your job was like a dry cleaning, then you'd be like, I don't know how the fuck to wash any of this shit. Same symbol here. We usually have the temp symbol with the numbers, not the dots. I think the dots are for ranges. Like, I kind of get it. You gotta have some system. I don't know. I'm clowning on them, but like, you gotta have something. Otherwise, people are gonna catch my ass putting my fucking petroleum only clothes in the wrong temperature with my tetrachlorine clothes, and then you gotta pay the iron price at that point, huh? I feel like they were industry stuff before they became mainstream in homes. Yeah, that's probably true too. The dots are for what now? I think the dots are for temperature ranges. So like 3 dots is like 70 degrees to 90 degrees or something. I don't know. I'm not a dry cleaner. So one thing that we should have is for any of the building things to be able to do the whole like map to map thing. So it's possible that in the building script here, when we have this like get map coordinates function, I might actually want to yoink this out of here and instead put this in the parent class for the building. And then you can just call, well, you already have a reference to the map. You might as well have this thing. Enemy building inherits from building, and building already has this thing, right? Get mouse map coordinates. So we want to make a new function here that's something like this. Function gets game coordinates from map position. I guess the only time you actually use this is in the enemy building. You don't need this for the player buildings. Let's make it here first. We could if we have a reference to the fog layer, we can just do it here first, just to get it working. So you can say, right, we already have it. We can say fog layer dot to local, or to global fog layer dot map to local. And I'm gonna say base map coordinates. And I'm gonna say that this returns the thing, right? It doesn't return the thing, huh? Great building just adds child. I'm gonna say return. Return the reference. And then here I can say var enemy base equals this. I'm gonna say enemy base dot position equals this thing. And when we add the actual base spawning, we can clean that up a bit. Now it's over here. It's in the right spot of the map. So now I want to turn the fog layer back on. This should not reveal the map. So what I should be able to do is put down a barracks, wait for a unit to spawn, and then I'm going exploring with my unit. Oh, it's spooky out there. I wonder if there could be something out in the wilderness. Who knows? It's possible. I don't know. Let me just reveal tiles. Oh man. Oh, what's this? Oh no, it's an enemy base. Maybe we even have the fog be like more intense around here or something, or like something in the background. I don't know. But yeah, you can go explore and find the enemy base now. Neat. There we go. We also need this base to be able to actually spawn in units. So if we go to the enemy base scene here, we're going to say add child spawned unit. And that should spawn a unit underneath the base now. Actually, I kind of just build farms to expand, huh? I don't actually need the unit to go explore because I think I'm faster by building farms. More farms. Hey, we found it. Okay. Are you spawning units in? If you are, I can't see them for some reason. Spawned unit position equals position. I guess I need to do this first. Spawned unit equals this thing. You have the timer on. Are the building, you're not, oh, because it's, well, hang on. Begin placing, toggle can place, end placing. It doesn't start the thing. So for enemy buildings, for enemy base, it needs to start this building immediately. So I'm going to say bubble up to all enemy buildings. You can say production timer dot start here. Because ours, this building works a little bit different. So yeah, the code's a little messier now. I'm just trying to get stuff working. Oh. Washing colder is always fine, just not as effective. I agree with that. There it is. Hello. Is the unit child of the building for what is the add child called? Oh, you're right. It isn't. It should be a thing. It should be one of these. Yeah, it should be enemy unit child. Child of enemy units. It should be a child of this guy. Yeah. Yeah, this needs a reference to it because each building can only have a certain amount of units that it spawned. We're gonna go this way. If we see the thing. Hopefully that works. Should see like a specter. I don't see him, huh? That's interesting. Can I go to remote here? Main. Units, enemy units, nothing. Interesting. Interesting. I wonder if the script's even being called at that point. Enemy base here. This produce here, is this even being called? Let's see. It should already be out there, so it should be calling it now, but it isn't for some reason. Is there anything else in the building that I missed here? Buildings, place buildings. Is placing is false. Nope, that's all good. It's already visible, so that's fine. It should just be running. Uses breakpoints debug log for the win. Also debugger 7 errors. Maybe check that. I will never check this because I don't care. Because all of these, if I just continue making the game, they will eventually solve themselves. Because I'm actually pretty sure I know exactly what all of these are. Yeah, node not found, town center, node not found, invalid placements, right? These are all related to the fact that I haven't prefabbed this yet. Once I prefab this, it'll clean all this up. So I don't really care about the debugger stuff right now. Unless I have an actual issue, and then the debugger actually catches it. Most of it's just like reference stuff, which I'll clean up anyways. I know things are in a broken state, but I'm just one-shotting, getting the game loop going, and then I'll clean stuff up. Make sure it's not relating to the spawning issue right now. That's good intuition. Good intuition. I just don't care about it. Because I search injectively, not surjectively. But to each their own. So why isn't this thing running? It's not calling the super, it has its own version of it. So that's fine, that's not the issue. Let me go to the enemy base again. Reduce. This is never getting called ever, huh? If I go here, so I'm gonna run the game again. I'm gonna go to remote. Buildings, enemy base here. Is placing, can place, light level 1. That's actually all incorrect. You shouldn't have any of these, but that's okay. It has the specter. It's visible. Building timer. Process callback, wait time, one shot, auto start, ignore time. I don't know if I can see if you're running right now. Well, okay, let's go here first. Let's make sure that this is running. Okay, this is here, which means this thing should now be on, which means we should get to this. Yet weirdly we do not. But you're in the scene. I see you in the scene. Go to the building real quick. Production timer.timeout.connect produce. You have a production timer, right? Yeah. If I say auto start, does it work? Still not getting called, huh? Well, I didn't have the debugger there. Huh. Still not getting called. Did I spell this wrong? It's possible. Nope, looks the same to me. Can I, maybe the debugger doesn't like me putting it there? Huh, no. Am I sure this production timer is linked to production timer? Yeah, it's a child reference, so it yoinks it in the same way. What's this one here? I guess we check here. What are we in right now? What is our object? Self. Buildings. Invalid placements right is null, null. Production timer is null, which makes sense because it's getting set right now. Production timer is there, so the reference gets set correctly, yeah. That part's fine. Why does it sound like you're waiting for me to pick an option? The vibes were horrendous today, Viridian, so I'm playing like relaxing Animal Crossing music because I was not having a good day. Not like a bad way, just like I was very tired and my head hurt, so no like EDM today, just nice chill Animal Crossing music with some rain in the background. Okay. Just the barracks calls this when I place the thing. Now you'll call, right? What? Pause? Why didn't... Okay, hang on. The barracks doesn't even call this shit? No, it does. Okay, no, I was gonna lose my mind. We do need to be in the thing, though. Never played Animal Crossing, so I associate the music only with J-Slat. That's hilarious. I bet people have that with like Shortcat and Toad's Factory, which is funny to me. You're on the map, man. You should be making units. The weird thing is, even with auto start on, it's not working. Maybe this is not. Does the ready? And place, end place. Okay, so is there any other state thing happening in end placing? No, it's just saying production timer start. Do you like... Oh, that's the signal for sure. Function produce. Are you calling like the super? Super. Nope. You really just out there not producing units, huh? That's wild. Yo, get out there. I gotta take a look at this myself, you know? Let me look at this. The spawning's fine because it's in the scene. I don't know. I know what it is. I know exactly what it is. The puzzle is solved. I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna go here. No, it's enemy base. I thought I got it in one there. I need to change the sprite though. Assets. Wait a second. I might know what it is. No, this is unique to scene. So strange. Function process. Print production timer dot time wait time dot wait time. What is this thing? Timer. Okay, let me do it in here now. I don't need you anymore. Production timer dot wait time. See if the timer's even going down. It's 1 the whole time. Are we sure you're being added to the scene? Y'all? No, it has to be because it's in create building. Yeah, it says right here, add child new building. What the what, man? I don't understand that at all. It's saying start right here. Yeah, I literally see it. Does it call the parent ready without me? I'm gonna crash out. Yep. Yerp. 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 Yep. Uh-huh. 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 Nice is a function spawn unit and base 2D enemy units. Yeah. This extends what? We need to turn this into the units class. I'm gonna crash out. I'm gonna crash out. Don't crash out? Okay, I won't crash out. Only because Cobalt asked nicely though. Scripts. Scripts. Units. Should be units. Class name units extends node 2D. What do we need to scoop out of this thing? We need to scoop out. Yeah, see that script? Why can't you see that script, yo? Yeah, you can see it. We probably want the camera in the fog layer. That seems correct to me. Crashing out is good for you, let the rage out. I love just saying crash out. It's a good word. We don't need this. We don't need this. We do need this. New unit dot fog layer equals fog layer. Add child new unit. Return new unit. Yep. We're gonna take this. We're gonna extract this up into units. Yeah. Now we can have spawn units on the enemy units. And I believe it should just work. Type trying to assign value of type Spectre GD to a variable of type player unit GD. We need to update the units now too. This should be renamed, by the way. Be Spearman. We're gonna say Spearman extends not player unit. Well, Spearman extends player unit, yes, but player unit needs to extend unit. Let's create script. We're gonna call this unit. This. We say class name unit extends node to D. And now we can say Spearman is a unit. Nope. Player unit. We go here and we say player unit extends unit. And then we can yoink out whatever we need from here. Let the hate flow. You want to see me crash out again? Why? Why? With my terrain 0 through 15, 0 through 3, I don't care about fancy naming. I do love naming my shit extremely verbosely. Does the Spectre not have a thing yet? Oh, it's in here. I forget that Godot loves to put your scripts in your scenes folder. Spectre. This extends a enemy unit. Nope, not enemy units. Enemy unit. Create new script. Enemy unit. Go to enemy unit. Say class name enemy unit. Extends unit. Oh. And now everyone should be happy. You should be happy. Now if I go to units here, this will be units. This will be a unit. Unit scene instantiate. Like that. Now I can hit play. Invalid assignment of property or key fog layer with the type tile map layer fog layer on base of object node 2D. New units fog layer. Oh, you probably don't have this, huh? Last name unit. Yeah, you probably don't have this. You probably need that here, huh? Makes a lot of sense. Actually, only the player unit needs it. Now that I think about it. Yeah, only the player needs the fog layer, because the other stuff just lives there. So, player units need fog layer, which means we need to slightly update a couple things here. So, here, well, it's in the units first. You need to maintain clean code and make variable naming small, like we're back in the 1980s. Don't you care about the 0.00000000000000000000000000000000001% performance buff? Yeah, my bad. Oopsies. My ass when I use a float instead of an int for a number that's a whole number. The processor will run it as quickly. Okay, this is probably gonna be okay. We're gonna be fine. Are those mostly because of small monitors? That can't be true. Or maybe it is, I don't know. Just scroll to the right, you're fine. Right, so if I go to... This should have the script attached, by the way. Don't create, I just want you to use the thing. Scenes. Scripts. Yeah, units, you should just have this. Load. So, spawn unit. This will do this part. However, this will only happen with player units. So if I go to player units now, I need to re-implement this function. So I'm going to say, I'm going to do this. I go to player units. I can just overload it. I'm going to say super unit scene. So I'm going to say var new spawned units equals this. And then I can simply say, if you're in the player one, we do this. So go back to my player units. I'm loving this new style of coding where you just like get the thing working and then you go scoop out the insides later when you want to do the thing. This is still at 1 all the time. I think it is spawning the units though. Let's go check it out. Oh, in fact, yes, you can literally see him in the map. Something crashed. I don't know why. Invalid assignment of property or key position with value vector 2 on base of object type nil. What? Wait. Something. Invalid assignment of property or key position. Oh, I know what happened. Return. See, this is where things like, how do you do type hints in Godot? You could do like player unit. How do you do this? Like, is it like this? That's where stuff like this I think would help me a lot. I should start doing this more. The thing is, I need to match the function signature of this though, because this will return a unit. So I don't know if it lets me do this properly. Return is arrow type. Okay, sick. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate you. Now I can like walk over. You can see their eyes in the fog, which is kind of creepy. They should actually be a layer down, but like this, and then oh, there he is. There's the boy. He's gonna come attack us soon. He needs a shader. He needs an outline, but that's it. We'll get to that later. There you go. We have a base that can spawn enemy units. Sick. This is why instead of keyword function, you can just put in the type you return. No, I don't subscribe to that. I think the function keyword is helpful. I think if you write your functions like this, like const func equals this. I think if you do this, you think you are more clever than you actually are. Like, this shit is just unreadable. I hate this. Just write function. We all know what we're talking about. All good. We've all written and like read code before. Don't worry about it. Don't stress out over it. Don't make it more complicated than it needs to be. You and your, oh, functions are actually first-class citizens. We're all first-class citizens in my book, okay? That doesn't mean private void function name. Oh, okay, fair. I respect that, yeah. I do like in Godot, everything's just like kind of default public, but you can use like syntactic sugar to make it not look public, which is basically as effective as it not being public for 99.9% of all use cases. I think that's nice. I also just, the thing though that's really nice is that it's just optional. You don't have to do it for every function. I only do it on functions that I really care about. So fog layer, I need you to be like the #1 most important thing in the entire game. So if I go to your z-axis, if I do this and I say z is not relative, if I bump you up by 1, you should just be like, I shouldn't even see the guy. Yeah, perfect. If I do a barracks here, I can like start moving you over. We can have the eyes for enemies as they add a bit of creepiness as long as they only appear close to what you've already revealed. Yeah, that's what I'm worried about, is if they need to be at least behind the fog when they're far away. But maybe we can do if you're close enough, the eyes will pop back in or something. I don't know. For now, though, you definitely shouldn't be able to see them if they're in the fog, because that kind of defeats the entire purpose of the video game. Godot? Godot? Save immediately. I don't know what... I don't know what the game is cooking up, but that scared me. The book says not to care about long variable names and use to explain the code rather than a comment. I probably still always prefer code that just like is more verbose but less comment specific. I don't also necessarily think that like if you have a comment it means you're doing something necessarily wrong though. I think so long as people can understand what you're doing, it's all good. Just don't use like one character variable names or I will hit you on the head with a hammer. I'll do it. I've done it before, I can do it again. Comments are an anti-pattern. True. If I see one comment in your code, bop, none for you. Prophecy did that and it was so unreadable. That shit is actually like completely untenable. Also, there's some things that you can't, that like you need comments for that you can't necessarily do with like just good variable names. Like what if I want to do this in my doc strings? Like I'd say like or like throws or exception. I can do like database error or something, right? Like I can tell you that there's a chance that this thing will throw this thing. You can't really do that with a comment. or like with just like properly documented variableness. Unless you do shit like def, you can do like function access database and throw error on can't read. Like now you need to stop. Like you're a solution in search of a problem. Do you use int I in for loop, Sky? No, I do not. I use index. I spell that shit out. I say for index in every time. The only time I don't do it is when I know I don't want to use the variable, and I will say for underscore in whatever. Because I think this is very clear as a like non-starter. This very clearly says I'm not using this thing. But if I am going to use it, I'll say index. But more likely is that it's probably something in a list. So I'm going to say like for my object in my list or whatever. That's probably the best way to do it. But yeah, even in C++ or something, I just put index. Because it's just hard to read I. I is tricky. I always use I, JK, whatever, because the one letter variable signifies it's part of the loop iteration. I think for like one layer nested loops, you're probably fine, and I'm not gonna get mad at you. It just gets tricky to me when it's like for I in range whatever, for J in range whatever, for K in range whatever, and then I'm like looking at your code and it's like when I is greater than J is less than or equal to K. I'm like, I don't know, you've lost the plot, man. One, you're probably just doing hacker rank problems anyways, because that doesn't happen in real life. When do you need to search in like a 3-coordinate space? But yes, Jindex. I think IJK is for the it's like a physics thing, yeah? I think using XYZ, so I'm usually looping over a little grid. I would just use an X coordinate, Y coordinate, Z coordinate. I think that's more readable. But I'm not coding your code. You're coding your code, so do whatever you want. Nothing wrong with that. Okay. We want to... We kind of did this. Units try to attack a base. So we need to do a lot of things for this. Git bash. What button have I pressed on my... Oh god, there's a magnifier button apparently. CD projects. Godot Wild Jam 82. Yeah, no, Rajenki, I studied math in college. I've seen the absolute atrocities that math majors will commit in search of trying to like finish the problem. They'll be out here like def func 1, and then it'll be like XYK, and then it'll just be like, oh, it's the quadratic formula or whatever. I can't. What are we doing here? What are we doing here, man? Git status, git add. We have git commit enemy bases and unit spawning. There you go. What app are you using for the to-do list? I am an Obsidian merchant. I would love to explain Obsidian to you. It's called Obsidian. It is the greatest note-taking app of all time. Let me take you through it real quick. This is Obsidian. It's a markdown editor. It's absolutely fucking awesome, and it kicks ass. I don't get paid to sell out for them, unfortunately, not yet. Also, it's free software, so it's kind of hard to do that. But anyways, you can have these like nice lists where you can do checklists and to-do lists and all that stuff. But if you want to use Obsidian like a real power user, you can start making other pages. So what if I want to have a gameplay page? I can go ahead and click here. It'll create a page for me, and now these two pages are linked together. Maybe on my gameplay page, I want to say something about like resources, right? Now it'll create the resource page for me as well. I can like type stuff out about my resources. And then at the end of the day, you can see this little graph view, and it shows you how all of your documents are connected. So you can like be in here, jump around to the gameplay thing. Oh, the gameplay has resources. Okay, I go to resources. Look at that. Pretty cool. Crazy stuff with add-ons. Yeah, it supports like Excalidraw if you use plugins and stuff. It's super sick. Delete. We don't have that. Right now, for game jams, I usually just use it as a to-do list though. But I use this at work all the time too. In case it's an index, I just put thing I'm indexing index. That's good. I like that. There's also an update for Obsidian, and I'm not going to download it. Can't make me. Looks nice. What's the command thing looking in the top left corner? This is git bash. So this is a way to run GitHub if you are more familiar with running GitHub on Linux while you are still on Windows. So this is actually just a bash terminal, so you can just do like ls working directory, but you can also do git stuff in here. So I can do like git status, And then you can tell me all the stuff I modified. It's just a way to use Git that I'm more familiar with. But I am not one of those people that is on a tirade of like, oh, you need to use CLI Git, because Git is low-key confusing as fuck. And for all of you who are like, no, it isn't, it's because the only reason you think it's not confusing now is because you've used it a bunch. It starts off being confusing. Here's the shit that's got me fucked up. When I write code, I push. Right? Okay, sure. When I push it to a different, when I want to have my push be on a new branch, that's called a push request, right? No, idiot, that's a pull request. Oh, okay, that's a pull request. Okay, interesting. So then, do I have to do a pull request to get the stuff on my computer? No, idiot, you just do a git pull. Then you get all the stuff on the remote, then you get the stuff from the remote branch to your branch. What? How is this inconsistent? It's two verbs. You can do git stuff in another way. I just use either git or git link, for example, versus studio. For example, via Studio provides. Whatever works. As long as you're using some sort of VCS, I don't really care how you use it. JetBrains integration. JetBrains does it really well. I like JetBrains' way of doing it. I think Godot actually supports it natively as well. I just like the CLI because it's what I'm used to. There you go. GUIs are terminally underrated in programming. I completely agree, especially for this kind of stuff, because GitHub is just confusing. And sometimes you'll log into GitHub and it'd be like, oh, hey, your SSH key is not working. And you just have to like, now your day isn't programming, your day is figuring out what the fuck that even means. Merge requests on more sane platforms. Yeah, merge requests, cherry picking. It's all nonsense. The only things that make sense are branches, because it's a tree. I'm there. This guy's been using version control for 80% of the time on Twitch. I haven't used it for most game jams before, yeah, because they're just like one-shots, but I should be using it more. You may need to send the SFX list in Discord so I can do stuff. I got you, Pium. I don't know if this is the full list yet. I don't even know if it's everything I'm going to use, to be honest. But if you want to just start working on stuff, here's something you can just start working on. I need to, no, not watch stream. Send out thing. There you go. Oh, and the nice thing is it even, when you copy and paste, it's in Markdown anyway, so it actually copy and paste it correctly. Interesting. Branch makes sense. Do you realize that branch is just a branch head and basically the same as a tag? Don't ruin the illusion. But yeah, GitHub takes time to learn and you're gonna fuck it up. So like, honestly, I would recommend just like going into a small project. Try to, first of all, just try to make a repo. That's just hard enough on its own. Because you as in me when I started, my dumb ass being like, oh, you create the repo in GitHub and then you run git init on your computer and then they're connected because they have the same name. Wrong, idiot. One of them's remote, one of them's local, so they're not the same thing. Then you try to commit things, but if you accidentally made a readme when you made your first git thing, now you got to delete that thing and make a new thing and then upload your thing as the thing that's on the computer thing. It's just... Honestly, props to ChatGPT. ChatGPT is pretty good about GitHub stuff. It's easier than my old cheat sheet for sure. And the hard way to use VCS when you try doing some weird Canvas stuff when working with Gambit. Yeah, that's true. Although I'm glad I didn't, because I would have probably given up and just rolled back. Instead, I actually figured out the Canvas thing, so... Merge, just make it not a tree. I'm not pedantic enough to argue that. I don't know, man. Sure. Hit you with the John Oliver. Neat. I use Git GUI because I like scrutinizing my diffs before I push them. It is nicer to see it in like a UI for sure, for a lot of like merge conflicts and stuff. That being said, like sometimes the merge conflict thing, I understand why it's so touchy, but sometimes that shit's pissing me off. Because it'd be like, hey, file A has a line break here and file B doesn't, so I don't know how to fix this. It's like either one's fine, man. Like JetBrains integration has some nice features, like very detailed comparison. I like JetBrains a lot. That's what I use for work. I'm full JetBrains everything. What would be the best, because JetBrains doesn't do like GD script, obviously, but what would be the best JetBrains for Godot, I wonder? I mean, you could do like Rider or something. Is it Rider? It does look like there's Rider for Godot. Work with code? No shot. Wow. Oh, yeah, hold up. It's free. Neat. Does it do GD script though? This is not GD script. UPiece. Never mind. Yeah, this is not, well, this is GD script. Is it? I can't tell actually. No, this doesn't look like GD script. No, it's not, because this would have a quote on it. This is C#, I think. Yeah, that's C#, that's C#. There's an extension for it? I was hoping it just did it out of the box. Oh, an AI assistant. Yes, dude, yes. Yes, please. More AI assistants in fucking everything. It's not like I already have like 15 licenses or some shit. I think if the code completes and like writer or like code completes are pretty sick, but I think if you use AI to generate your code, like you're just asking for the heat death of the universe to come soon. I don't know. Make your own? Nah. Now you're cooking. As we see in one glance, which branches branch later, make merges stuff a bit easier, IMO? Yeah, I just prefer the visual stuff most of the time. The only reason, like I said, the only reason I use CLI is because I'm more used to it. I'm not a purist. I just already know all the words on that one. I'd rather do it there, but I think both are fun. As long as you're doing something. I don't care. Honestly, as long as you just like save it to a zip file and put it on the Google Drive, as long as you have some backup of your stuff somewhere, I have no ill will against you. And if you don't have backups, I don't have ill will against you. I'm just really nervous for you. Okay, so what was I saying we need to do here? Units try to attack a base. So we need a lot of things before that's even possible. So one, we need like unit HP bars. We need unit attacks. This goes on to the generic units. The unit attacks need to be separate per unit. So we're gonna say Spearman, and we're gonna say the Spectre. We also need to have buildings have HP bars. So building HP. And this will go on to generic building object. So that's totally fine. We're allowed to do it there. We need the units can detect buildings. So if you build too close to the offensive base, they'll attack you. And then, sorry, I should say enemy units. Enemy units can detect buildings. I also want to do one other thing here, which is buildings limit spawns. So like the barracks and the base should only spawn 4 units max. Oh, the other thing I wanted to try. This is too chill. This is like, I don't want to be in Conolave City right now. Pause. Okay. This is even worse somehow. Take me back. I lost my train of thought because I was trying to remember Conolave City music. What was I saying? Buildings limit spawns. Oh, right. I want to do the thing where pathfinding multiple units don't stand on top of each other. How do I do this? I want to make sure that the units don't literally step on top of each other. You see how like they bump into each other and they... Oh, this guy's got more problems than us. I don't... I think that's how most RTS, at least SC2 and AoE 4 work. They allocate someone as the leader and everyone just steers around them. That's interesting. You may find Boyd-like movement to look nice. This example happens quite frequently in SC2 if you're not careful with your army movements. The magic box. Clicking inside the box breaks the grouping. Clicking outside of the box keeps the grouping. A big army. Yeah, so I want to do something like this, because right now if you spawn too many units on top of each other, they just occupy the same like sprite space. So it only looks like one unit. When more than one cube unit has the same direction, they collide each other and stop pushing, rotating, jumping. Surprisingly tricky thing to do. I'm not surprised at all. This thing like seems crazy. D to the distance of the destination. Let A be a list of all agents, including this one, inside a circle of radius D around the destination. Let A be the sum, the total area of agents A cover, assuming they are circles. Stop if area... Jesus. You can use local avoidance. You like the leader concept? Me too. May still see some pushing depending on the acceleration and movement between your agents. Yeah, I need something like this so they don't like step on top of each other, man. I have chosen to stand here. They have a collision shape, won't it act as a form of barrier for each other? So yes, but if you just do it based on raw collision shape, what will happen is that they will never reach their destination. So the thing you have to think about here is like, if this is my first unit, let's just draw circles because we're like reasonable individuals here. If this is my first unit's collision shape and this is my second unit's collision shape, and I select them both and I say, hey, go to this location. I'm gonna say, go here. They will both move towards the location, but one of them will either get there first and occupy the spot. And now all of a sudden this one just like keeps trying to get there, but it can't, it keeps getting pushed out, right? That doesn't work. Or if they, let's say that this point is like here, they get there at the same time, they will constantly be bumping into each other now because they both want to get to the center of the point. So they'll just do like this and they'll just like sit there and vibrate for a while. Yeah. Have the leader path like normal and have everyone assigned to the leader's group try to keep a certain distance to 2 or 3 closest units assigned to the same group. Well, maybe. But I ask you this, what happens if while you're moving the leader dies? Everyone needs to know where they're supposed to be going. Trying to get too far from the leader so they don't just huddle. What if the leader dies? What if you box what if the first unit is here and the second unit is here when you start your boxing? I don't think you can just say like, you're the leader, you'll get there first. Yeah, you obviously can say like which one is closest to the leader, but assign a new leader. So you check every frame to see if you need to check it, if you need to have a new leader. What if that's what evolved into formations? Possibly. Assign the next leader to be the closest to the previous leader's death. Yeah. Maybe. I feel like there's maybe an easier way to do this. Disable collisions make units occupy a random point in a cell. That's kind of what I'm thinking is like maybe the like maximum lazy. I want to look at a couple solutions for this. When a collision with an unit is detected, pause for a short random amount of time before attempting to resume the planned route. If after 2 successive attempts a unit cannot still follow its planned path, get it to recalculate a different route. Assuming your colliding units are all on the same team and can therefore communicate and share their intended paths with another, this is a nice description of cooperative pathfinding approach. UCLA, Jesus, we're going to like, y'all, we're going down a fucking path here. Oh, that file doesn't exist actually. Oh, is the whole link here? That file doesn't exist actually, is the thing. Cooperative pathfinding. Path ended quickly. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's the whole thing. I think you got to get like the. Nope. No, that file actually doesn't exist. Is this what is even the name of the thing that I'm trying to figure out? Cooperative pathfinding? Multi-agent pathfinding, perhaps. Multi-agent pathfinding where the agents must find non-colliding routes to separate destinations, given full information about the routes of other agents. 3 new algorithms for efficiently solving this problem, suitable to use in real-time strategy games or other real-time environments. Decoupled approaches that break down the problem into a series of single-agent searches. Cooperative A star searches space for a non-colliding route. HCA star uses an abstract heuristic to boost performance. Finally, windowed H cooperative spreading computation over the duration of the route. I think we add rigid body to the enemies so they push each other. Yeah. The problem is that getting them to not necessarily collide with each other, not difficult. Getting them to get to a destination if one of them is already blocking the destination, slightly difficult. Getting them to know that even if they are a certain distance away from the destination, if they cannot get to the destination without colliding through another member of their party who is already at the destination, difficult. So it's not a question of like, how do I make it so they literally don't stand on top of each other? Because you can just put colliders down. How do I make it so I can move them to a location? They don't intersect with each other on the way. They know when they've arrived, and they know that if they if something blocks them from getting to their destination, that is okay. Which also means you probably have to do groupings of things when they do the movement. So like, for example, if I box units 1, 2, and 5 when I do a first movement, if we want to do the leader thing, we look about which of those is like the first one. To be fair, that's completely fine. One gets pushed out from the center and it evens out to form a circle around the destination. Yeah, but the unit's going to continue to try to move to the center of the circle. I need it to be not in motion once it realizes that's as close as it's going to get. And like, you can be like, okay, well, if you get pushed out and you know that you've been pushed out for 10 frames, then you're probably good, right? It's like, well, are you? Maybe. What if there's a tree in the way? Maybe not. We select EG5 units, tell them to go somewhere, assign their targets, and a cross around the main target. I'm thinking that's probably the best way to do it. That's kind of what I'm leaning towards right now, Regenki. Especially if we don't have any real terrain, because we don't actually need to do like A-star. Because we don't actually have terrain yet. So we could instead say, generate some amount of points around the circle, and then each thing gets assigned a spot near the destination, and then you don't even have to fuck with colliders. If they intersect each other like while they're walking through, that's okay. For the followers, their goal should be to minimize the distance to the surrounding group members and the leader. If they reach a local minimum, they can stop. That'll make them make a circle around the leader eventually. Possibly. Possibly. I'm not saying any of these approaches are wrong or right. Like, I mean, I'm literally staring at 3 correct solutions right now on this page. I'm trying to think of what's the simplest way to do it that lets us get to a game faster. And how does that, and how do I do it with the other stuff that I'm planning with the game? So like, for example, if I do an add terrain, how does it work with terrain? Yeah. But yeah, there's like, it's been studied. This is a whole ass book about it. You can go read a literal textbook about these kinds of things. I think if I don't want to fuck with colliders, the easiest way of doing it is you literally just, when I click on a thing, I have a list of all the things that are selected. I assign each of them a point close to the thing that I clicked on. If you want them to not collide during pathing, leader is probably the simplest. If you want them to not collide during pathfinding, you literally just add a collider and then say, that's literally, that would make it so they literally cannot collide. Because, I mean, like, you could, I think it's literally like a one shot, right? If I just said, if I went to, we're going to do a player unit first, I guess. Or I guess we need to go to the spearman thing. If you just did, how do you make a collider in Godot that doesn't let things pass through it? I don't actually remember. Area 2D, like a collision shape here. Like this, or maybe you could do like a physics collider? Physics, physics, yeah, or rigid body. Once full 2D physics cannot be controlled directly, instead you must apply forces. You could do something like this or something, I don't know. Yes, when their pathing would be them constantly running into each other. Yerp. Playing all the hits today, huh? Yes, I agree. That is correct. You have identified the problem. Sit on the group, causing it to spread out. Yeah. Yes, correct. No knowledge about pathfinding, so this is how I think. Haha. Yeah, it's same. I'm just like thinking about all the different ways to do it. I think the leader one is too much. I think that's, it doesn't need to be that complicated. I think I should be able to press a button, because we already have, like, if you look here, we already have all of the selected units. And so you can literally, like, wrong. You can literally say, if you have 1 unit, go to the point. If you have 2 units, the first unit goes to the point, the second unit goes slightly to the right of the point. And the distance here is whatever the hitbox of the thing is, right? And you can literally just expand this out. So if you have 2 units, you go like this. Or sorry, if you have 3 units, you go like this. If you have 4 units, you probably just do like 1, 2, 3 or something, right? Maybe to make your life easier, and since it doesn't really matter if they're like this, you always do it clockwise. So if you have 1 unit, you say go to the point. If you have 2 units, you say 0.1, 0.2. If you have 3 units, you say 0.1, 2, 3. If you have 4 units, you say 0.1, 2, 3, 4. And then you're done. And yeah, they might pass through each other when they're pathfinding, but given that there's like enough variance on these points that it draws, it should be fine. If the leader dying is an issue, you could replace the leader with a sort of virtual leader that is invisible and immortal. Yeah, that'd probably work. Formation is nice, but they might get stuck when trying to pass a narrow passage. They don't have colliders. If I do it this way, they don't even know each other exists, so it's actually like it's completely fine. The thing that's going to be annoying though is if I like click on a unit, they want to pathfind to get in range of that unit. Now all of a sudden you have a different problem where it's like, how do you know to line up on units? You be careful in sending group A to a point than sending group B to the same point. Yeah, that would collide too. Yep. Group B will have to select points that are not taken by group A. Not only that, but they'd have to select like points that are at far enough distance away from this thing too. It's just a circle. It's just a circle, bro. Yeah, but like, if I click on a unit, then I got to pick the points around the circle, and there's only a certain amount of points around the circle. So if I reach the maximum points around the circle, then I have to figure out what range around the circle I have to draw the units around the circle. But yeah, it's just a circle, but that fills up, add circle formation further out. Yeah, you get it. But if you keep this in the backlog snap, or you take too long and ruminate on this while working on the easier stuff. Yeah, that works too. I think Viridian, this is why you're the GOAT. The correct answer is to not do it yet, because it's not part of the core gameplay. You're so right. The reason I wanted it though is it does just make it easier to see the like spawn limits on this, because I don't want this like spearmen to stack up on the top of each other. That's just concentric circles. The radius difference is equal to the unit radius. Yes. I feel like we're trying to have a conversation here, and like I'm going to agree with everything you say. Like I understand the problem. Yes, correct. I feel like Merline, if you're in Slack right now, this is like prime like thumbs up emote. Yes, Tower of Spearman, a little bit, yeah. But yeah, I think the most correct answer is add it to a later thing in the checklist, because we don't need to worry about it right now. So unit fanning / cooperative pathfinding. And the nice thing about having like doing it later is we can see if we are going to have things like terrain or like forests that we need to move around or something, right? And if we have that, we can like get to it later. Yeah. Okay, cool. What we need to get to right now though is a break for the advertisement. It's time for an ad break. Forgotten hot drinks of history. I gotta say, don't worry everyone. I know how beat up we all were when Outdoor Boys announced retirement, but I have good news for you all. Townsend's is the new comfy thing to watch when you're eating food channel. Is it the same vibes as Outdoor Boys? Not quite. It's not quite the same vibes. But if you need like comfy sit down to eat your food channel, I highly recommend Townsend's. I loved his bread video. Viridian, we might have the same algorithm. What do you mean new? It's been a thing long before, my guy. Listen, when Outdoor Boys announced retirement, I had to like mourn that loss, okay? I wasn't aware of Townsend's because I had Outdoor Boys as my guy. Would recommend how IRL armies did this historically, since it's not like soldiers are a hive mind, yet they know how to keep rank. So they probably had some local behavior trained to do that. Yeah, probably. Well, also like humans aren't capable of like occupying the same space of each other due to like physics and stuff. But probably Probably, yeah. There's like probably like ways you can like get an army to march just that they don't intersect with each other, or even like end up in the same spot as each other. I like the guy who keeps cooking stuff from a very old cookbook. Oh, town senses the goat. He made a whole town. He's true to his name. Is it alright if I make a sound for farm buildings, just barracks, etc.? Because it sounds bad if all are the same. Are you asking if it's okay if you can do more work? Yeah. That sounds sick, yeah. I'm worried about the art for this one though a lot. Because I just don't have confidence in my own ability to do art. If it comes down to it, I'll do it. But we might have to go like get assets. But then it won't have like a good cohesion. But hopefully we can piece stuff together. I like that we're doing everything placeholder-y right now though. That makes me, I'm gonna do this for more games from now on. It might look worse in the YouTube edit, but I have confidence? No. No, that's okay. I don't need that. You can do it. I just, maybe, we'll see. I don't think it's impossible. We'll see how it goes. I'm not super confident in my isometric art abilities, but I'll give it my best shot, you know? I'm not gonna immediately shy away. I'll try. If it goes well, great. If not, you go to itch.io and you look up the word medieval. And we move on. It's gonna be okay. Cool. But yeah, I'm gonna take a quick break for ads, so I'll be right back. Pull up Minecraft parkour. Go get that. I'm gonna go get some more Oreos. Here you go. Not for the coal mines again. Bye. Good luck out there. Ad time. Tax time. How much do I owe? Secret. What if I'm wrong? Just guess. $800? Jail. Alright, baby. This should be sounding like Yoshi's story. 35 degrees here on Sunday. It's not even August yet. What the fuck? Holy shit. That'd be useful to look into some of the large studios that publish RTS games. Publish any papers on the tech? I think honestly, that might be the approach. And like, I assume what they do is going to be some mix of all the things that we discussed here. But I think the easiest solution is probably just like, we're not the first to solve this problem. I would rather just like see what StarCraft 2 does or something. Maybe like a stripped down version of it, because I'm sure they have things where it's like, oh, SCVs do it separately than like Marines do it or something like that. But I think that book maybe had a good way of doing it. I think it's going to be slightly different for us too, because like there's something here about game coordinates not being where like the things line up isometrically either. But as long as we can break it down like piecewise, I think that's probably the way of doing it. Probably sure. I think it was like super fucking hot here the other day, but oh, sorry. My bad. Freedom units. My apologies. It was 34 today. Luckily, I think it's going to be a little bit cooler through the rest of the week, except apparently tomorrow when it's the temperature of the middle of the sun. What the fuck? Jesus, man. It got hot out of nowhere. Maybe that's why I'm not having the best day. Maybe I'm just like tired from the heat or something. Not sure. Heat has been killer though. Okay, cool. So I want to do the spawning limits as well. Maybe fix with the coordinate transform? Yep. In general, those papers is looking at good ideas for inspo, even if you don't follow the exact details. Yeah, I think so. Evaporating before our eyes. True. Yeah. I think just finding how other people did it, probably the best. I wouldn't even be surprised if Godot had like built-ins for a lot of that stuff too. Like maybe they have A-star like cooperative pathfinding or something. Pyom is now walking outside to punch dirt for the sounds. I've said it once, I'll say it again. I think Pyom is like next generation Toby Fox. I can't wait to be a footnote. That's absurd. The quality. They do have pathfinding nodes? I wonder how easy it is to map the pathfinding into like isometric stuff. Probably pretty easy. What I don't know how you would do then is like the movement between the isometric tiles in a smooth way. Because like you can do pathfinding to exclude or include certain like nodes. But then how do you map that in the correct way such that you can like walk through nodes at different angles? I don't know. Right? Because like if I want to say move from your current tile to another tile, then like maybe during the path, if there's like a tree in the way, how do you know to move around the tree? Maybe the trees. This gets really weird. Maybe the tree is like a different layer of the terrain or something, and then it knows it can't go into that. Like it has like areas it's not allowed to go to. I don't know. How do you do like pathfinding nodes, but the objects you can't pathfind into are like regular collision objects? I have no idea. My just says find the corners of where you walk around obstacles and connect them with straight lines. That seems like a lot of work just to go around a tree though, yeah? Make a collision with a type in it, and when it hits you, walk around it. I think you'll like run into similar issues where like, what does around it mean? It's like the same thing when you have like a 2D polygon. You're like, oh, just do things on the outside of the polygon when you only have coordinates. How do you know which side is the outside? How do you know what it means to like walk around a collision object? If it's like a circle, it's probably easy, right? But like, what if it's a square? What if it's like a... Oh, I don't know why you would make like a triangle collision object, but what if it's like a triangle? Like a thing with spikes in it or something. I don't know. Again, I don't think I'm the first person to have these problems. I bet there's ways to handle it. But I'm thinking now like the StarCraft cooperative pathfinding is more of like moving on the map when you have different layers of the map. Like there's spots that connect points A and B, and so it's actually just doing distance calculations between which of those two like ramps is easier to walk up and down. But then also doing stuff like moving around pylons and whatnot, because you can't walk through that stuff either. And back what we're doing with the collisions now? Nothing. We're gonna skip it. Also, do you have a good way to explain how to make a game AI? I realize I haven't really made any bots yet, and I have no clue how. Huh. I don't know. AI. Depends on the kind of game, I guess. I'm not too sure. I don't have too much information on that. Yeah, what's up, Zach? How's it going? How's it going? Welcome in. Hope you've been well. Good to see you back. Yeah. We're just gonna skip the pathfinding thing for now, because we can just get the rest of the game working, and then if we have time, we'll get it to be fancy. First thing I want to do is building limit spawns. What does that mean? Well, actually, this is the part where the pathfinding would be helpful. Trying to make relativity of gravity in my game. That sounds very calculus of you. Have a good time. So far, everything flying. Whoops. Unity moment where you like change one variable and all of a sudden the UI menu has gravity. If I did a simple version of this and just so I can see the different units. If I went here and I just added a rigid body, what happens? With no gravity. You're mad at me? It has no shape. We need a shape. Shape. We're gonna do a circle. If I just do this. Which one are you? This one. I'm gonna have it at your feet. So I want to do this, and I want to say 5. If I do this so that you literally just can't stand on top of each other, what happens? Gravity scale 0. There's no gravity in there again. Just curious. If I put a barracks down, spawns a unit, spawns a second unit. Oh, they don't give a shit. They don't interact with each other. How do I make it so they interact with each other? Collision. How did I do this with, I did this in the Suika game, actually. How do I make it so they, like, push out from each other? Collision layer? Player unit selection hitboxes. Player unit selection area. This will probably be on 3. Edit this. Player unit collision. Engine had a seizure prob because they were on top of each other. Okay, go here. No, they don't care at all. They do not appear to care in the slightest. It could also be that since I'm moving like the node to D, that this isn't actually gonna move anything. Yeah, I'm getting like error after. Oh no, that's the output of the. I don't need that anymore. In the enemy base, I don't need this. No, thank you. Let's get them to like push away from each other even a little. Got a video game. Go get them. Get them, boys. We gotta find the base over here somewhere. Yeah, I want to do so if I click here, because now they're all just one homogeneous spear, man. To likely make a black hole function without knowing. Well, hey, if you do it well enough, you either get to like make a movie called Interstellar, or you'll get like a Nobel Peace Prize. So good luck. Yes, they fused. That's right. Computationally efficient is might be able to be possible to do line of sight checks on the next nodes along the path. On a straight line to the furthest node within line of sight. Or in reference to what? Like how to move around objects and stuff? I think it's still the same problem where like it's difficult to know like what does it mean to move around an object? If you're trying to get to the other side of an object, how can you know like which way to move? So this doesn't work right out of the box, which is a bit of a shame. Let me just fix that one problem. Units stand on top of each other, Godot. Yeah, I want to do something like this. If you're making a fighting game, then sooner or later you'll check for collisions once you know how, whether the characters collide. Check if the Y position of a character is greater than the other character's Y position. Well, that's not really it. It's it's because they're not actually like doing anything. Slap on a physics material with no friction to slide off the side. Move it. Oh, if we do this, we have to change everything to move and slide. Actually, now that I think about it. Respect their collision shape a bit. Sounds like your enemies don't either have a collision shape to you or are moved directly by changing their position. That's what we're doing instead of move and slide. Move and collide functions that check for collisions. Yeah, we have to change how our stuff moves because we can't use move and slide, or we can't use like position updates. We have to use move and slide, huh? So we need to actually change this node type too, I think. Like a player. What is it called? Character? You want to do something like this. Bodies that are meant to be user controlled, not affected by physics at all, but their other physics bodies. They affect other physics bodies in their path. Yeah, we'd have to do something like this. Any configurable physics body. If you did something like this, I assume it explodes immediately. You'd add this here instead. Delete this. This is now its collision shape, and it's now a physics object. So if I push this down, they should push each other away. I still don't. This seems like intense, though. Just leave it alone for now. I want to fix it because otherwise I won't be able to see like what my units are doing. What's your pixel dimensions for sprites? 32 by 32, I think. I think the grid, these tiles are 32 by 32, I believe. For like the buildings and everything. I think, pretty sure. Maybe there's like a tutorial for this. RTS game tutorial Godot. How to make a 2D RTS in Godot. RTS, unit selection and movement, y'all. This is 42 minutes long. We might get pieced up by this, but let's give it a look. Let's give it a look. Maybe it'll go well. Who knows? Unit selection, drawing selection rectangle, simple unit movement, fixing draw order, improving unit movement. Let's see if they're kind of messing with the same stuff we're messing with. So they have the same thing where they have a unit and a collision shape, which is probably how they do this thing where they don't step on top of each other. So we're gonna do something similar to this. What does this look like for you? Night walking, night walking. Improving simple unit movement. Move towards target equals targets. So if you're using collision shapes, what do you use? Like move and slide or something? Positions 2 targets target max velocity. Holy shit, that is a Jesus. Yeah? Okay. Okay, let's give this a shot. Let's give this a shot. Why not? It'll make the game look nicer, so we might as well just do it now. So, if we go to our spearman, he is now a character thing, and he has a collision shape. Which means if we go to the player unit, we go to the unit. This actually doesn't extend no 2D anymore. This extends character body 2D. That makes this all tie up nicely. Player units. Move to position. So this is the thing we need to change. This is no longer target location equals is moving like this. We no longer do this. We would want to say, what do they do? Velocity equals position.direction to target times speed. That makes sense. You do your current velocity to the target. So if is moving towards target, we're going to say, you want to do this on every frame, huh? I'll switch it be in physics process. That's actually a good point. It's a physics thing. Physics process. If is moving towards target, we're going to say position equals... Oh, that's why this wasn't working. Because we're snapping the position. It doesn't like it when you snap positions in this world. You have to set the position before you add it to the scene. Or collision shapes. They don't like it when you directly move their position. That's why it didn't detect the collision. Right. You need to spawn in there. Also, having it be directly on top of each other is going to create a problem where they won't stack on top of each other, but we'll fix that in a second. So position, we're not updating position like this anymore. We're going to say, what do they say? Direction? Velocity, if positions dot distance to target. So if position dot distance to the target location is greater than or equal to some minimum movement distance. So we can say like properties at export var minimum distance to target position. Let's say it's vector 2 5 5. I don't know. How long is that said towards? What do you mean? Oh. Hey, look at that. That's misspelled, huh? Is moving towards target. Wait, did I do it again? Is moving towards target? Is moving towards target? It's different. I'm just gonna assume that means it's right. Got there in the end, huh? Here we go. 4 times the charm, you get it. We're gonna say if position distance 2 is greater than this thing, we're gonna say velocity. Our velocity is movement times speed. The problem is velocity isn't quite correct. Movement direction equals position dot point at angle to point distance to. Y'all, I might be stupid. Target location minus position. I'm a genius. Oh, you can do position dot direction too. That's the same, huh? Direction too. Yeah, it's the same thing. Target location. We're gonna multiply that by the movement speed. So that's the direction. So the var, well, velocity equals move and slide velocity. Wait, why are you returning that? So I would say move and slide. We're saying movement direction times the speed. Times movement speed. Movement speed, like that. Expected at most 0, but received 1. Huh? Too many arguments for move and slide. Move that. Moves the body based on velocity is like a thing. Oh shit, my bad. Velocity times movement speed. My bad. I didn't know. Oh. So we don't need this anymore. Oh, we need to do the update. So else is moving towards target equals false. Velocity is the thing. We also probably want to set velocity to 0. We'll probably just do that every frame, huh? Velocity equals vector to 0. Oh, we need to do this thing too. We do this as well. Well, move and slide's a bit funky with this. We actually need to do this if we move. In 3, you needed to pass it to the function? Oh, velocity is a thing. Aha. As for objects smaller than the tile grid, just replace that tile in the navigation graph with a tile with a hole in it. Interesting. Wait, weren't you moving things using velocity? That's the whole purpose of rigid bodies, at least in Unity? No, not... Well, they just recently got promoted to rigid bodies. Before that, they were but simple sprites. They've been upgraded to physics objects. We need to do this. And honestly, we can just do it every frame for now. It's fine. Just do it every frame. Actually, you can just do it if you're here. Let's do this. Yeah, that's fine. You just get the position, then you move and slide. You can even do it after, to be honest. Here. Fine. That, nope, not fine, not fine, not fine. There you go. There you go. I think with the integration of the physics engine, they added a property. Interesting. Neat. Okay, so we do this instead now. We might need to use that later. Let's just see if the boxing works now. So I put down a bear. Hates that a lot. Script inherits from type character body 2D, so it can't be assigned to the object node 2D. Units. Oh, right, Spectre is cooked now. So this needs to change type to a character. There we go. Okay, try. Doesn't have a collision body right now, that's fine. Go here. Float and vector 2 in operation less than or equal to. Yeah, you're right, that doesn't make sense. Yeah, this should be this. Nope, that's not how that works, huh? That's just like a 5. How about a 5? Go there. You spawn in. I can. Hey, look, they can't run into each other. So if I holy shit, where did my boy go? I've accidentally sent my boys to space. That's tragic. But now they honestly close enough. They are still like technically moving, which is funny. That's good. That's good enough. You see how they're gonna try to keep like getting to the target space even though they're kind of already there. Also, I want to know where the I may have accidentally made a particle accelerator by putting all these guys here. That's so funny. Yeet. I know why it happened. That's still funny though. Look at that. Kind of just worked. You see the problem here though? They're gonna keep like jumbling around till they try to get to their spot. Which honestly, like we can just fix that later. That's fine. Oh, why don't they have Y sword enabled though? This guy should be above you. Spearman, animated sprite to D, Y sword. Ordering, Y sword enabled on. There we go. Now it should work. Space program. So now they should display correctly. Do they? I feel like you should be in front of this guy's spear. I feel like the Y sword is like the opposite of how it should look. Sorry, I forgot about space program. That's my bad. If I like bunch you up. Yeah, you know, I don't think you should be stepping on that guy's head like that. That seems kind of rude, TBH. Why is Y sword not working? Huh? So canvas items with higher Y position are rendered in front of nodes with lower Y position. If false, Y sword enabled on a parent node but disabled on the child node. The child node B is sorted, but its children are rendered together on the same Y position as the child node. Do I have to put it one up? Visibility, Y sort? That, maybe? Maybe it wants this instead of the sprites? Okay. Because maybe the sprites technically have the same Y position because they're... No, you're still gonna step on that guy's head. That's so rude. Get off of his head, dude. That's so fucked up. Yeah, that's not quite working. I don't know why. I'm gonna leave it as a thing to fix later, though. I don't know. We'll get there. We'll burn that bridge when we get to it. Space program. Okay, to prevent the space program, what we need to do is in the spawn units, we're gonna do this here. So we're gonna take this out of here. Spawn unit is going to take a position, and then the thing. So spawn unit here. This is going to take a position, vector 2, comma. Now this doesn't match the parent one, so if we go here, we can do the same thing here. So this would be position, underscore position vector 2. Yes. So before we add this thing, we're going to add it to the scene. So we're going to say, or we're going to set its positions. We're going to say new unit dot position equals position plus vector 2 randf randf. Does randf do 0 and -1? What do you randf range then? Same -1 to 1. Just give it a little wiggle. Give it a little wiggle. Little wiggle. Barracks is now incorrect, huh? Where's barracks? Barracks. No, it's correct. What are you talking about? Now the base, enemy base will be wrong though. This should say position inspector. Might crash. It crashed. 2 matters for spawn units. Oh, super. Yeah, this needs to be. Here you go. So now if we spawn this, it really doesn't like that, huh? You're not allowed to just slap that. I mean, now if I click on this, it'll just, yeah. Interesting that you can't, when they spawn in, they don't like... Maybe on the first frame that they spawn in, I should give them a move and slide, huh? Maybe I give them like, just kick them a little bit of velocity in a certain direction. That'll get this whole thing going. So if I did like spawn unit here, I wouldn't say, I'm doing it again. No. Position equals position, and then we're gonna say velocity. Oops. New unit dot velocity. Dot velocity equals, now I can do vector 2 randf range -1 to 1, comma randf range -1 to 1, and then I can say move and slide. Move and slide, and then I set it back to be 0, and that should give it basically like one little frame of zipping around. Not even a frame, actually. This can actually be a post-render thing, but if I put this down now, it doesn't work. Oh my god! Doesn't work at all. Will you be able to click on buildings after you build them? I don't think so. That's not in my current plans anyways. If I give you a velocity, the problem is you're gonna schmix. No, because on your first frame you get your velocity set to be 0. And also you don't exist yet. So we have to, no matter what we're doing, we have to do this after you're on the scene, because otherwise you're not real. You are not real. Still doesn't work. Do you need to call move and slide? Dot move slide. Planning out the buildings only be like 32 by 32. I think so. Maybe 64 by 64. I don't know. I gotta fuck around with the isometrics a little bit. Hey! Hey, it'd be well, it was almost working. Not quite what I was going for, but like, you can see the vision. Go, my little troops. Explore the world. If I click here though, they're all just gonna like... They're gonna keep trying. They're vibrating, dude. They're gonna just keep trying to get there. I guess when you do a movement, what you do is you group all of them the simple way. You group all of them together. As if one person gets there, you say movement complete. Everyone else had too much caffeine. True. If I put it in the center, they don't know how to handle it. Maximum lazy might actually be. Oops. Maximum lazy might actually be. If you jiggle too much for too many frames, just say you're done with your movement. The thing is, like, the game can handle like a lot of these units. I'm curious if the enemy units are having the same problem. If I go over here, is it just like a swarm of enemy units? No, it's just the one guy. Kill his ass. Kill him. That's funny. Because this almost works. And since it's only 4 units at one time, honestly, I might just let it ride for now. Jago, are you asking because you want to make the buildings? Is that why you're asking me? Who would win, one guy or 100 men? Depends how much prep time. Playing around with it. You and me both, brother. What might be best is we might be able to work on it together or something. I do want to get better at doing art. So I do want to contribute some art to this game. The problem is I say that, but as soon as I make exactly one thing, I'm going to be like, holy shit, this looks like ass. I don't want to do this anymore. I might leave the entire weekend for art stuff. I don't know yet. Maybe have a no talkie stream where I just try to make art as best as I can or something. And by that I mean go on itch.io and look for things. Gotta power through the looking ass phase. I agree with you, but the problem is my looking ass phase is going to go into an actual video game that people will play. That's the part I'm worried about, man. If it was just me looking at it, no sweat, no problem. It's not, though. It's gonna be everyone in the Godot Wild Jam, man. Freaking out. Okay. Gonna be okay, I promise. Mozilla recently posted on LinkedIn. Thank you for the pressing update on that, Gmail. Interesting. Oh boy, I just got the wrong email from someone else. Interesting. Okay, so it's okay, everyone will be judging you. as it should be, of course. One, my room is too hot. My AC is not keeping up with the absolute scorching temperatures outside. Two, this is probably fine for now. It gives me the effect that I need so that I can see the thing. That's good, honestly good enough. Building limit spawns. Okay, so the barracks has something. So this will be oh, we already have it. It's unit capacity. We're gonna say this is 4. Spawned unit is here. We're gonna say unit capacity. So, well, first you do this. If current units spawn, if spawned units equals 0. If spawned units is less than or equal to, no, if it's less than unit capacity, then you can spawn a thing. When you spawn a thing, we're going to say spawned units plus equals 1. And the last thing we do is we say spawned units dot spawn units is not declared in current scope. Oh, there we go. So spawn units plus 1, spawned units plus 1, spawned unit dot. This is a unit. Spawned unit dot q is queued for deletion. Spawned unit dot is. What is it when you leave? Tree exited. Tree exited dot connect. Decrease unit count. Unit spawn count. So what does that function do? Good question. Thanks for asking. Function decrease unit spawn count. We're going to say spawned units minus equals 1. So if we have space, spawn the units. When that unit dies, when it gets tree exited, decrease the amount that we have spawned. So your unit is tied to the barracks. So if I open up my game here, if I put down a barracks, it should spawn 1 unit, 2 units, 3 units, 4 units. And then it only spawns the 4 units. And I can walk around and be like, yeah, these are my units, dude. Look at these units. Aren't they great? I want the enemy base to have the same effect. And I guess actually, maybe the building should have colliders too. Because maybe I shouldn't be able to walk on top of the building. Don't. Get the game working first. 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 No, they do need colliders because I need to be able to click on them to right click to say attack the building. And then they'll start stabbing. So I started blasting. Something like that. But I do need that. Well, okay, first of all, I can check this thing off the list. Units try to attack a base. Unit HP bars, unit attacks. Spearman Spectre. Building HPs. Building HP, generic building object. Enemy units can detect buildings. We need, before we even get to that, so we need the unit HP bars. We need the unit attacks. And then we need right click target unit to attack it. We also need detection area for units in range. E.g., a spearman will attack another unit after one dies. But what I mean by that is, like, if I say attack the specter, they kill the specter, great. They shouldn't just stand there waiting for the next order. If there's something nearby that they can attack, they should, like, path over to go attack that thing. Yeah. And, like, yeah, we have to think about RTS logic here, too, where it's like, if I can't find a spot to attack that thing, I should go attack a separate thing. They shouldn't just, like, pile up waiting to stab the shit out of one unit or whatever, but we don't need to worry about that right now. I think a lot of that's going to be, like, if we have time and we can get to it, nice, like, RTS quality of life stuff, but I'm not super convinced we need it for this kind of stuff. For, like, a game jam game. We could probably get away with not using it. I think. Probably. Possibly. Alright, let's move forward. Units try to attack a base. It's not actually... We need actually just unit HP bars first. I'm going to do unit HP bars, unit attacks... and I guess I need, before I even get to that, I said right-click unit to attack it would be the thing I need actually before any of this stuff. So, unit HP bars. So, the units thing, so well, first let's go to the Spearman. Spearman needs a progress bar. Progress bar. Probably textured progress bar. But we can just use the default one for now. That's okay. Oh, I want to take the code from Gambit that I used for this, actually. Because I had really good code for this in Gambit. Go to Wild Jam 80. Oh, Gambit. What a quality game. It'll never be like this again. Such a good game. It's music that makes me feel like I'm 4 again. Sorry, I don't know what to tell you. It's just the vibe of the songs today. I will say it's helping. I feel much better about today than when I started streaming. So this is a little bit too much like 5-year-old found a toy xylophone at Toys R Us or something. So I'm gonna run it back to the 5 p.m. part. But Animal Crossing music kind of go crazy. I think I need more like video game playlists, video game soundtrack playlists. I'm worried about YouTube kicking me in the shins for using this. I don't really know if they will or not. We'll see. They've been doing it lately though with a lot of the stuff that I've been putting on YouTube. They're like, hey, did you know that this is copyrighted by some like random person in Venezuela? And if you ever post that shit again, we're gonna like come to your house and beat you up. I'm like, oh, sorry. I'm not well versed in international copyright law. I apologize. That's all good. Okay, so what was I here for? Oh, the enemies. Let's see. Monster TSN. This progress bar. Oh, it's actually on this thing here, huh? Here we go. I'm just gonna grab this because it's real good. I'm gonna put it on the unit. Update progress bar. It doesn't have a thing to progress bar, so we can make that pretty easily. We can say progress bar equals. Nope. Bar progress bar equals. We're gonna go like this. There you go. Now you have a progress bar. What are you mad about? Max HP not declared in current scope. That's a good point. So we're gonna say on ready var max HP equals 100, and we're gonna put a thing here to do export to resource, and then this will be a child refs, something like that. Cool. Now we have an HP bar, and it's over here as well. If I go to the 2D, where's it actually render on this thing? I'm gonna look at Gambits again real quick. Where's the HP bar actually at? It's above them? What are the properties of this thing? Show percent, no thank you. We're gonna say 1, and the step size is 0.01. value is 1 at the start. That makes a lot of sense to me. And then now we can just mess with the sizes and the transforms and stuff. So I'm gonna go like this. I'm gonna schmix you up here, and I'm gonna shrink you way the fuck down. Something like this. Maybe even a little bit less. Just like a little tiny health bar for our little tiny guy here. Perfect. And we will have this off if it's at 100. So I think that already is the way that that works. Let me see. Script, enemy unit, units. Progress bar visible equals true. We're going to say if value does not equal 1. So if new value does not equal 1, then we're going to do this thing. Yep. Else, we're going to say progress bar. Nope. What the? Progress bar dot visible equals false. So if you're full health, you don't need to see the progress bar. I'm going to comment this out for the moment though, so that I can see it on the actual character. And also the Spectre is going to need a progress bar now. Progress bar like this. And actually I'm gonna delete that because I want to take the one from the Spearman. What the? Copy. Paste. There you go. You should have this now too. And if I turn it on, yours is actually going to be slightly above your head, just so it's a little easier to see. Okay, cool. Let's ship it. So I put this down. I don't see a progress bar. It's probably not visible at the start. Spearman here. Progress bar like this. Here we go. Should have a gray progress bar now. And you do. Honestly, that's still like too big. We could shrink that down a little bit even more. Apparently not. Apparently that is the smallest you can make it. Let's go to scale then. And make it like 0.5. Oh no. Don't tell me it doesn't. Why are you doing this to me? Transform. Minus 4.5. There we go. Why is it like off-centered still? Oh, it doesn't like when you do that. Interesting. Well, can lean a little to the right there. That's fine. Let's try that. That's good. I want it to be a little wider though. Let's see. Helps it balance out a little bit more too. Okay, cool. This should be off at the start, and then we can call update HP bar. So I can say something like process delta. I'm going to say update HP bar. The new HP is going to be, I guess you need like an HP var somewhere, huh? Onready var current HP equals max HP. You are not allowed to do that. We'll say 100 for now. We're going to go back to the Spearman, and we're going to say current HP. We're going to say this. Current HP minus equals 1 times delta. I don't know. Just go down by like 1 per second or something. I just want to make sure that these bars are actually updating. So your HP should be slowly going down. And it is. Slowly. Yeah, you're losing your HP. I've like poisoned you or something. I'm slowly watching you die. Like 1 times delta time, maybe like 5 times delta or something. Go down a little faster. Back from another leave. HP's bar looks so cute. Thank you. They even changed color as you lose HP too. Look. Now it's green. But uh-oh. Oh, you're getting kind of low on HP. Oh, it's getting a little yellow. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, your unit needs heals. Uh-oh, uh-oh, it's getting, uh-oh, oh no, uh-oh, uh-oh, it's getting red. What's gonna happen? He's gonna die. Is that a shader? Nah, it's just like 2 colors. I can show you right here. We built this function in Gambit. It just has 2 like breakpoints for the value. And just sets it to be at either of the breakpoints. Just interpolates between the 2 colors. Pretty simple. Okay, cool. Sweet. So, go back to the Spearman now. The Spectre needs the same thing, but it doesn't quite need it yet, so we're going to go ahead and delete this. So, things have HP bars now. Sweet. I'm going to make a thing here, by the way. Get status, get add, get commit m, unit spawning limits, HP bars. Git push. Cool. right-click target unit to attack it. So this is where things get a little bit complicated, because this basically means that every enemy unit in every building needs to have something that will intercept the right-click before I do like the box placement. Yeah, so like if I'm on the map and I have like a unit here and I select you, if I click on a specter, it shouldn't say go to the specter. It should identify that I've selected a target I want to hit, then path towards that target, but keep in mind that these things should actually be attacking that target. What we can do instead, well, this is where things get a little bit weird, because there needs to be a couple different states with this. It should either go to where the target was when I clicked the thing, but then like if it stays within vision, it should keep updating to like attack the thing. Your chibi art is so cute. Also doxing myself, Mr. Doxing yourself. I do dox myself a lot, so it's okay. Also, hey, thank you for saying the chibi art is cute. I didn't make the chibi art, I think. The channel chibi art was made by Rasati, our incredibly talented resident artist. Why do they stop on each other? What do you mean? They don't like stepping on each other. How am I doing? I'm chilling. I'm chilling. They don't like being stepped on. They do step on each other's heads still. I don't know why. Y-sort is enabled, but it just doesn't like me for some reason. Like, shouldn't this sprite... Shouldn't it be the other way around? Shouldn't the draw layer do the opposite of this? I don't know. I don't know why it's doing that. It's just being weird. I don't know. But hey, that's all good. Just another problem to solve, I suppose. Unfortunately, I think that is a problem we'll have to solve another time. Unfortunately, I'm a little bit sleepy, so I'm going to call it at a reasonable time today. Probably going to call it there. Yeah, but thanks for hanging out, everybody. Thanks for chilling. Back tomorrow with more of this. Hopefully I'll be having a better day or something. Get some good rest. Thank you. I think I am going to hang out in the Discord for a bit. I would love to play Scribble.io with people if we can get a game going. If not, I'll play like a game of League or something. I don't know. Some Civ 5. I need to play something to just like chill for a bit. Yeah. Infinity Skies. Yes, welcome to the mirror dimension. Yeah. We'll see. Maybe if I'm too tired for Scribble, I might just bail out on there too. But that's going to be it for me. Thank you for the stream. Thanks for having me. And we'll go raid Yuki, I guess. Yuki's cool. I like watching Yuki. Anyone else doing Godot Wild Jam before I fire away here? Let's see. Any other Godot Wild Jammers? Godot. Possibly Wild Jam. Nope, just me. Okay, I'm alone in this barren universe. That's okay, that happens. Look over here. Slash raid. Yuki VT. There you go. Thanks for the stream. French language enjoyed memes so much they adopted la into their traditional language. All right. Goodbye, everybody.